We are live with Trevor,
What?
and Trevor is the director and editor of Blue Fox Productions. About how long have you been doing Blue Fox Productions, Trevor?
I've been doing it for about 2 years now. A very lengthy 2 years. It feels like a super long process. Feels like 10 years.
So what made you want to get into start your own media company, essentially?
Well, so when we first started everything, it wasn't like a production company. It wasn't Blue Fox Sessions or anything like that. It was more towards the idea. Have you heard of Philip DeFranco?
Philip DeFranco?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar. Can you...
Check him out. He's probably one of the most well-known YouTubers when it comes to news and media and stuff like that. And he takes this more unbiased approach where, although he may have his own bias because, everyone has their own opinion, but he gives you the facts. He doesn't sugarcoat, whether it's Trump, Hillary, Obama, whatever it is. Doesn't sugarcoat. Like just the other day.
Gives you the dirty on everybody.
He does, essentially. And that's what I liked about it. Honestly, I watch him every single day. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch anything like that. He's what I watch, and maybe I'll watch a couple other things that I randomly see.
Philip
DeFranco.
DeFranco,
yeah,
okay.
Check him out. Hard. I think you'll really like him. He's basically tells the news as if he's in like his bedroom type of thing. But a bit more professional. He's been doing it since like 2008. So he's been here for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
But so essentially, my best friend, Luis, we wanted to create that sort of thing, where we create a sort of news, pop culture type of idea. And when we first started it out, we kind of branched off into our own directions, where that's what he was kind of focus on, and I was going to focus on like music. Mm-hmm. And because being in the music scene for about 10 years now, I understand the issues that come with playing music, not getting paid, wanting more promotion, being a baby band and not really receiving anything, and going into a bigger band like I'm in now and that I've kind of grown with. It can be rewarding, but 90% of the time, it is not rewarding. And that's what they don't tell you. I mean, I guess they actually do tell you a lot, and we just don't catch on until it's just way too far gone. And so, essentially, Blue Fox Sessions, which was my portion, was supposed to be this sort of answer to the local scene where they can go and have their music in a professional setting with a professional studio and put out professional quality for little to no budget whatsoever. Now that was the original idea, like I was kind of telling you earlier, is that I wanted to like fork out money and be like, oh, I saved up money from valeting, I'll pay for your thing because I want to help out the local scene. And I'm just like $300 in for the first 2 sessions, and I'm like, damn it, I can't do this. yeah
Money.
And so that's essentially how it all kind of started, and it pushed away from the media aspect and more to the music entertainment aspect. Now, we do want to go back and push towards like a show or anything like that, kind of similar to this, but that keeps being pushed back into the works. Actually, I feel bad. I feel bad because we set out this like message. We were like, hey, people, like, apply and send in like a resume and how you think you could be like a great host, yada yada yada. We had like 5 people apply, and like 2 of them were like pretty great, and we were like, yeah, okay, let's go and send them in, yada yada yada. And then like we never did that.
Oh, wow.
And the project never went anywhere, and it just funds got tied up, and it was supposed to be in my office, my room. But, like, I have 2 couches, a table, a big-ass table that's where I do all my work. And so there's, like, virtually no room. And that every day we'd have to tear down everything and set it up. And I just take on way too many projects for me to do anything.
Maybe having all that chaos would be good. It'll show people, like, this is what a person doing work 24/7 looks like. Like, and this is my art. This is my constructive area.
And that's what I find very, very interesting. It doesn't happen too often, but sometimes I do come across this where people kind of like look at you like why is it taking so long to do something? It makes no sense to me. And I'm like, I wish I could tell you all the things that I do on a day-to-day basis. I just want to get on Facebook and like rant and be like, hey guys, so I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. Please leave me alone. I'm doing my best.
Well, it's like when people when they want artwork done for them, they're all like, the artist always goes, well, how much time you need?
Yeah.
And they give them a time frame, and they're like, how's it going? I'm like, well, it's going according to a month-long process that you're giving me.
Yeah.
Like,
I always get really nervous with that kind of stuff. Like, they'll tell me, like, with the fashion show thing, like, technically it's supposed to be due this Sunday. Probably not going to happen. Mainly because of finals and school and all that kind of stuff. Stay in school, kids. But, like...
Have a backup.
Yeah, seriously, have a backup. I'm like one more semester out. So, yeah. Little quick tangent. I had a client, won't say his name, her name, maybe. No, but, and like, I was talking to him, and I was telling him about like, oh, like, I can't do any work for you for like another month or whatever it is. And they were telling me, you know, well, what's up? And I was like, well, you know, school and yada yada. And there was no project pending. They just wanted to work with me again.
Yeah.
That we've done with a previous project. And they were just kind of, well, what's up? And I was like, well, school and so far and Blue Fox, yada, yada, yada. But I was mainly focusing on school. And I was like, well, I have my finals coming up next week. I'm going to be so tired, yada, yada, yada. And kind of does this sort of thing to me where he's like, you know, sometimes if there's too many things going on, you have to drop something. And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm not doing as much client work because I got school to do. And he kind of like looks at me and he's like, no, like you should probably drop out of school. And I was like, what? No.
Not when I'm this close.
Yeah, I was like, I have one more like semester. And he was like, but like, what's going to make you the money now? Like, I was like, no. That's bullshit. I'm not going to do that. I'm going for a marketing degree. It's not going to be some, you know, burn your degree for warmth type thing.
I mean, if it was something like, if it was some other degree, probably like art history degree, or not saying it's not worth it to get that degree.
It's not worth it.
But you can take time out and actually learn your craft if that's what you were learning. But I can understand like a marketing degree. Maybe if you were like first semester, second semester, and then your production company, like studio took off, then for sure.
And I mean, the project would have probably got me like close to $800 for like a video or two. Man, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah, that's where you got to figure out your finances.
Okay, I went off on this tangent. What were we talking about?
Oh, you were talking about Blue Fox. Blue Fox
something after that, I think. Because I was like, okay, I'm going to go onto this tangent. I made a point to go off on the tangent.
You did, and totally forgot.
Damn it. I do this all the time.
It's okay. Really I'll pay attention better. But like we're talking about finances, like you just got to make sure like you don't want to reach too high. I understand like you want to buy it off more than you choose, so that way you have that passion, that drive to work to get something completed, but then you don't want to throw yourself under a shit ton of debt.
Yeah, that is my problem. That is 100% my problem. I literally took out a credit card just to buy my camera. It was like the GH5.
But it's worth
it. Like $1,800, and it is worth it. It's 100% worth it because at first I was working with this G7. It's about $600. It's a good camera, 4K. It's great. But when I finally got the GH5, like, my work excelled like crazy. It went from a little bit of a shaky cam, looks a bit more amateurish, to, you know, doing these way more professional videos and these way more high quality videos. Like, from point A to point Z at this point was just like 0 to 90.
Yeah.
It was damn quick. And I love it. My wallet doesn't. My girlfriend doesn't because my wallet doesn't. And my mom is always just getting on to me about buying stuff. And like I bought this lens and I told them both. I was like, hey, so I just bought this lens. They both got really pissed. I was like, guess how much it was? They were like, how much? $300? No. $30.
Yes.
It was great.
Yes.
I bought this little baby lens. It's like this big. And typically lenses are like kind of in this direction. But it was like $30. I saw it online. It was great.
Yeah, you can't say no.
They're made for like CCTV type footage.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as sharp as what I like, but it's $30. So if it breaks, you just buy another one.
It's like my camera. Like it's all.
Yeah.
I'm thinking budget. I'm like, well, it says 1080p. I mean,
yeah,
it's got to deliver 1080p.
Yeah.
And at first, I was like watching first couple podcasts that I was doing, listening in, trying to, because it's hard to listen to yourself and watch yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to improve yourself, you got to see the things that you do, the mistakes that you create on yourself, to learn from them, to fix that.
Yeah.
So you gotta study yourself, and it's hard because one, it's kind of, I don't know, it's weird, kind of weird to watch yourself.
No, I 100% agree. I hate my voice. I hate how white I am. I hate, I think this is my first time really ever being on camera or on a microphone. And I'm enjoying this conversation, but I hate everything about it. I hate my voice. I hate everything. I'm just super self-conscious about myself.
Well, it's like my girlfriend. She works with some people absolutely smart, know what they're doing, but and very very good at their jobs, but they hate it. It's not what they want to do. It's all it's my money bag. It's pays my bills while I get to be creative when I'm not here.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel. I got a day job.
Yeah.
I need something to pay the bills, to keep this, to fund my ideas. But it's not hard. You just gotta be a little frugal with some other things.
I am happy though that I quit my day job, I think about a year ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's all just been video work that's been financing and keeping things up.
And you don't care how many hours you work, right? Oh. Well, depending on your girlfriend.
I am up till 4 o'clock in the morning every damn night.
Woo.
Yeah. And I have class now. To be fair, I hardly go to that class. But I have business statistics at 8 a.m. And I went to bed at 3 a.m. every single night. And I hardly ever went to the class. And I don't mind showing up late because I show up late to my other classes.
Yeah.
But it's this one is only 50 minutes. So my school is 40 minutes away. So if I wake up even just a little bit late, no matter what, I basically already missed that class. Rather than just missing 30 minutes and signing in and being like, all right, cool, I was here, I get credit.
That I never had a class till my final semester, structured geology, where the professor, I mean, think of when people talk about the Australian assholes. Mm-hmm. That was him. But he was fun. He was a badass guy. Cool. Talk anything else with. But when it comes to his class, his course, you learn it my way. You do it my way. Damn. And it was just, if you don't show up to class, you get 0. Yeah. No matter what.
I did have one class. It was organizational behavior. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a requirement to show up to class. So I didn't. And all we had was quizzes and 3 tests. So that was that one. Did we talk about it with the camera on?
I think it was before we turned on the podcast.
So I haven't slept in 2 days.
Yeah, we were talking about the finals. Yeah, this is definitely before.
And I took that final, and when I was just leaving, I was shaking. I was just cold as ice. My head was hurting. Putting on my shirt or just touching my chest or taking off my shirt, it was just needles being pressed against my chest, and I just destroyed my immune system from not sleeping for the past 2 days. Now, the day before was my stats final. I got a 90, so woo.
There you go.
And I felt fine. I mean, I was up. I went to go get a honey butter chicken biscuit from Whataburger at 6 a.m. because my final was at 8, and I wanted to keep studying, whatever. And So that went great. I thought I could do it again. Now, I didn't intentionally try to stay up. It's just I laid in bed. I'm thinking about the test. I'm thinking about the show next weekend. I'm thinking about our next production. I'm thinking about the other 9 clients that are asking for their videos. I'm just thinking about so many things that it just keeps me awake. And at some point, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just like, if I fall asleep right now, like I'm scared I'm not going to wake up for the final. Even though I set like 6 alarms. I have this app that calls me to make sure that I wake up, and I'm scared that's not going to wake me up because it's happened before where I'm like, okay, I need to wake up, and I wake up and I'm like, I'm feeling good. It's like 2 p.m. Damn it. I missed 3 classes, and I hate when that happens because although I got some sleep, but it just feels so unproductive because immediately after getting out of bed at 2 p.m., I go to my office. And I sit in my chair, work on my laptop for the next 8 hours, and do it all over again. And so it just becomes it feels unproductive. It feels
like you wasted the day, kind of.
Yeah, it does. Even though I got work done later, I just feel like I'm getting fat, sitting in my chair, not doing anything with my life.
Didn't go walk around to my classes.
And sometimes it's really good though. Like I love the sunlight. Sometimes I just want to just go for a quick drive when I wake up because then I feel a little bit more awake rather than like hermited into my corner.
That's one of the beauties I love about my job is that every day I see the sunrise coming up, no matter what, because I'm driving.
What do you do?
I inspect pretty much regulate oil and gas industry. I work for the state.
Yeah.
I'm just what's known as a field inspector. I just go out there, double check their safety and all that maintenance, which is kind of I miss doing geology work, geology stuff that I did in school and what I learned to obtain. And yeah, it's nice. Like the job is nice. It's beautiful. Like the things I get to do, my geology education helped me get this job.
That's cool.
So, but it's just not entertaining my mind. Especially lately, I've been getting frustrated with the software program to write and submit our reports on. It loads in 5 minutes. It all started when we got this new device. I'm not going to mention what it is, but it's a new device that they say will be better for us. And it hasn't been better for me. I missed the...
It hasn't?
Yeah, it hasn't.
That reminds me of working on my laptop and working 2-3 hours on a video. I did this video the other day, finished it right, went to export it, crash. And it happens all the time. I don't understand. I think it's maybe just my laptop. I don't know too much about it. I just know it's a nice gaming laptop. But I'm getting to the point where the quality of files within my camera are too big for me to even view on my laptop. So with my next school grant, I'll be putting together a new PC for $2,000 and making it
well, let me know. I know a little bit something about building PCs.
Cool, awesome.
So
and spent 2 hours on it, exported it. It was all gone. It just all crashed. I didn't save it once. I forgot to save. Control S.
That reminds me of when back in school, when we'd be in the lab working on I think it was geochemistry, and we had these computers in the lab, and then our little lab experiment setup that we were doing. And they were those old Dell computers, and every once in a while, one of them would crash, and you just lose your data, and you just did you save? Did you save? I don't know. We'll find out.
Yesterday, Thursday, I wrote a 10-page paper in one day, and right when I was gonna go submit it, I was like, oh, I haven't saved it. I kept getting like freaking out. But then I just remember it's just a Word document. It's not like it's Premiere Pro with all these processors running and your computer's screaming at you with the fans just like running and running. It's like a 27,000 word or 2,700 word paper. You know, it's whatever. But it freaks me out. It really does, because in 3 minutes I'm supposed to submit this. If I don't, I fail the class.
Yeah.
So.
No, I know the feeling. Like, I like being back at school, writing those long, like 10, 20 pages of paper. Like, I always feel like if you're writing more than 10 pages, it's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's just,
seriously. Yeah, because for my midterm, we were writing like a 15-page paper. Mm-hmm. And everyone in class were just like, at some point, you just bullshit the rest of the paper, and you're just like, I'm answering the question, or you're answering the prompt like 9 million times, and there's no other way I can put it.
And then you're giving all this supporting evidence from other reference books, from people who have done similar experiments.
Yeah, and like to a degree, I'm just like, I get plagiarism. I get it, like, no bueno, of course, but my issue with it is that there's only so many ways you can type a sentence.
Exactly.
And when you see that reference, type it that way, and you're like, how the hell am I supposed to write it any other way? Like, that's the way I thought of. I probably should write it. And then you write it another way, and it doesn't come out as good, and you're like, great, my work doesn't look as good because he wrote that sentence first.
Yeah, and then you're putting all these quotations, and then it just looks like you're not framing your own idea. You're framing someone else's idea, and you're just using it as your own. I'm just like, what do you want me to do? I mean, I understand that you want me to give you my own self-conscious thought of the process, but that's what this first 10 pages were for.
Now, let me ask, are you a Spurs fan?
Very much.
How do you feel about Kawhi?
Man, it's tough. I mean, he's a quiet guy. If he does decide to leave.
Do you believe he's a quiet guy, or do you believe what the social trolls, including the news stations lately, have been throwing out, being like, oh, Kawhi is going to sign to the Boston whatever.
Or it's LA Lakers.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand.
Kawhi going to the Golden State Warriors.
Nah, I don't think
I think Spurs would just retire and be like, no.
No.
God damn it.
If anything,
we're done with everything.
If anything, I believe, like, because they're a very smart system. They wouldn't want, like, if they were going to trade Kawhi during the summer, I'm pretty sure they would want to trade him to the East just because they wouldn't want to have to face him in the West.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be one thing to face him in the Western Conference Final versus the NBA Finals.
Well, yeah, for sure. And that's something that I always had kind of like an issue with, where it's like, you can argue that Spurs and Warriors are the outstanding team. Obviously not lately for the Spurs, but over time in history, we have been, even recently. Not this year, but whatever.
It was a breakout year. Like, it showed, like, what Popovich
whatever
can really do.
Go wrong will go wrong. You know, every step of the way. Tony Parker, Kawhi, Ginobili at times. He had his moments where he was doing good, and then just Pop's wife. Once that happened, it was just like
heartbreaker. The end
is done.
And like I went to that game 3 where he missed, like, where he just started missing games because his wife just died like the day before, and it was just like the energy was just sucked out of that stadium. Like, even though it was packed, it was filled. It just wasn't as loud as it should have been.
Dude, I hate that we won. I really do. I hate that we won. Not that it felt like the Warriors gave us the win. It didn't really feel like that, but I hate that we won because we elongated the process.
Yeah.
And I didn't. We all knew, like, we're done. But it's like, now we're just elongating the pain. That's what it felt like.
Oh, and
I hated that we won because of that.
And it felt even worse because Curry was on the bench.
Yeah.
And just like, wow, we're doing, like, we're competing, but we're just not able to get over the top.
Yeah.
And if Curry was there, it would just be us pushing that boulder uphill the whole entire way.
Yeah.
I mean, it already felt like that, but it would be pretty much that boulder wouldn't be moving at all if Curry was playing. Which is good that they set him down because...
You know, I don't like Curry. I hate Curry. I hate Curry so much. I think he is a cocky motherfucker, and I don't like him.
What about Draymond Green then?
I mean, I don't like any of them, to be honest. I think they're all cocky. I think they all play a not the best game. But you're also, this comes from a Spurs.
I believe they play
a
a mental game, like a strong mental game.
They definitely play a mental game. What I don't like is the fact that Curry will take out his mouthpiece and throw it at someone.
Yeah.
Or he'll get pissed because of something. And he has this sort of like sly smirk on his face that's so like, I know you're a great person, but get the hell off the court because you're pissing me off type of thing. And yeah, I mean, Zoe, what's his name?
Which one?
I don't know. I think he's no.
Who are you thinking of?
It's a Golden State Warrior guy who's been like
Yo-Yo Zazie, something like that.
that guy, that asshole.
Yeah.
I hate him the absolute most. Now he's a separate degree from Curry. Like Curry's just damn good, and it pisses me off. It's just he is not that great.
Zaza, I believe it's Zaza.
Yeah, Zaza. He's not that great. Like I guess he can hold his own, but I feel like they hold on to him because he is just willing to be that dirty shit. Like he's willing to
step that line.
That. Yeah, for everyone else.
And just, I mean, I would say like the sportsmanship has gone down a little bit, but just because it's.
But also, I think that's part of the evolution of sort of basketball, and that's the thing about the Spurs is that they're much more traditional. Their values and the way that they play is a much more traditional type of game set, where the Rockets or Golden State, I don't want to say it's in the direction of street because sometimes they do pull out some nice moves and all that kind of stuff. But that's the idea. It's a much more aggressive manner.
Yeah,
it's much more aggressive.
That more glamour shot.
Yeah.
Gets the looks.
Yeah, rather than passing it 9 million times before you do a layup type of thing.
I mean, it's just, as you see, like, you even see it now, more and more teams are going towards that extra pass. Like, even Golden State does that extra pass. I feel like they affect it way better than the Spurs do now.
Yeah, I think last season, they were very much about their star players. And this season, it was much more about teamwork. Yeah. I think that's something that they really picked up from the Spurs. But
well, you got two coaches that are originally from the Spurs. Yeah. I mean, Steve Kerr was a player on the Spurs, not to mention also the Chicago Bulls during their championship reigns with Phil Jackson. Yeah. So that's a lot of knowledge and experience there. And also to mention Brown, I believe, the assistant coach, was also an assistant coach here in San Antonio. So it's all like Popovich developed all these players, and now his own like tools are coming after him. It's great to see. I mean, you can really see like the legacy that Popovich is leaving behind throughout the whole NBA. It's being reached out. I mean, we got 2 assistant coaches this coming summer that are going to go coach at other 2 teams, Charlotte, and if she gets the job, Becky Hamble at Milwaukee. So I think it'd be awesome.
How would you feel about Coach Timmy?
Coach Timmy, oh man, I don't know.
Because I heard a rumor, not that Timmy was gonna go that direction, but that Popovich, this may be his last thing because of his wife thing. Now, nothing's confirmed. It's maybe just one of these like San Antonio trolls that are putting out the whole Kawhi kind of like thing. And I thought about it. I was like, what if Timmy came into play? And he was like, Coach Timmy. Like, I feel like if there's anyone else besides like Robinson that understands how the Spurs work and can keep their values intact while evolving, I feel like it would be Timmy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting concept. I just don't know if Tim Duncan wants to get back in the spotlight.
I don't think he wants to at all.
Yeah. It's just all like, I think he's just having too much fun being free now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it'd be great. It'd be awesome. It's like a fantasy. Just like it'd be, as much as I don't like LeBron as a character, absolutely the best.
Okay. Yeah.
But when in question, it's all like, if I ever get questioned, like, would you want LeBron to come to San Antonio? I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah, actually, I saw some. God, I keep hitting this table. I'm going to destroy your table.
It's all good. Take it out. It's all right.
It was a while back. I think it was at the beginning of this season, and it was like LeBron might be coming to the San Antonio Spurs. And I was like, you know what? It's not a bad idea. The only thing that I would be weary about is his star performance, you know, because the Spurs, as long as he's able to integrate in the Spurs culture as far as the values of teamwork and things like that, I think LeBron would be great.
Yeah, I think actually LeBron could actually fill in like a very strong Ginobili, because that's essentially what Ginobili did in his career when he was younger. Like he was just that wild card that would just throw on the court.
Yeah,
and that's what LeBron does do. That like he shows like he can follow team orders.
Yeah.
And then when they need it to be a breakout, he can be that breakout.
Have you seen the SNL skit?
No.
You should watch it. It's okay, so it's like it's Childish Gambino does like the SNL thing, and maybe I should have pulled it up. Can't tell if it's like I'm right here and it works.
That's all good.
But so like there's this SNL skit where it's like a play on the Rockets for LeBron, and they're doing like where like the team members from behind are thanking and apologizing to LeBron for what he does, and it's like, oh yeah, and the girl who smokes cigarettes on the court who doesn't really play, and the baby who's a part of the team. It's like just a hack of like random team members, and then there's LeBron, and they're like thanking him for being amazing and things like that. You need to watch it; it's really good. I know I'm not explaining it right.
Well,
you should watch it.
I understand what you're saying, because I think I read some articles where like LeBron is frustrated carrying his team.
Yeah.
Like I read that article. I was like, is this really true, or is this just someone trying to like get a story out there and make it?
I'm sure he is. I mean, he switches teams a lot for a reason. Yeah,
well, I mean, he came back to Cleveland because he said he wanted to make sure that they win a championship, and he's done that. But it's just
so like I just want to come back to my old brother and just make sure that they get a little bit.
Yeah, but it's just like I wish. I mean, it with marketing has changed the game of the NBA. Like players are always going to want to like see their values, especially if they're really, really good. They're going to see their values as really, really high. And not only that, now it's so much, it's easier access for them to start their own brand. Mm-hmm. So depending on where the market of their team is at, that's going to build their brand up.
No, for
like San Antonio, it's a small market. It's because we don't have a lot of big corporate interests. But if you go LA, it's getting there. But it's still small.
Oh, for sure.
We're still considered an overground town more than a city, just because we're spread out and we're not elevated. Yeah. But I think we'll get there.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, why do you have this?
It's a boomerang from Australia. I bought it for an Aborigine.
Does it work?
I said it worked. I've tried throwing cheaper ones because I really value the artwork on there and I don't want to damage it. So that's why I just tried throwing the cheaper ones. I haven't gotten enough work yet.
So I throw it right now.
Not enough room. Not enough room. It's supposed to like you throw it, and if you hit the animal, it drops. But if you don't hit, like, because they use it to hunt all the types of wildlife over there, because like the kangaroos, like you hit it, they keep hopping, or they drop dead. Well,
I have a question about a kangaroo, but continue. I'll come back to that.
Where was I? Oh yeah, they hit the animal, it drops dead, or if they miss, it's supposed to come swinging back and land near where they're at, so that way they can just run over to it, like just a couple steps, pick it up and throw it again.
That's crazy. That's crazy that someone, and I mean, they made these like
they were
hella long time ago, and so it's like it's so crazy how like at that time their scientists were able to create this thing. You just throw it in the air and it comes right back. It's like, how did they know that this exact setup would make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, they got inspiration from probably some other animal, or probably even just throwing a rock. Yeah. And then like, well, what if we use wood or something? I mean, it's very hard to tell how they came up with that idea, but it's also like the amount of time that they were on Australia before anybody else came there. I believe Aborigines first showed up on Australia like 60,000, 80,000 years ago, somewhere around there. I don't really remember. Go look it up if you're really curious.
Would you ever punch a kangaroo if it was about to attack your dog?
Oh, fuck yeah. That's your dog. That's
Do you
your
know what I'm
little
talking
friend.
about?
Yes. That YouTube, that video where that guy, where the kangaroo was holding the dog around the neck.
And he just like decks the kangaroo in the face, and the kangaroo's just like, the fuck happened?
That guy know how to box too. Like the way his stance was when you saw him like approach it and then just swing. That was a good swing.
I think it was just kangaroo. So stupid, like how controversial that actually got. You know, for the most part, the people that I know were all like, "Oh yeah, the dog is safe. It was attacking the dog."
Yeah.
Kudos to, because he that was a zookeeper. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't some random guy that just saw a kangaroo like, "Let's fight."
Yeah.
But it was like he knew what he was doing. He's like, "I need to send him to the kangaroos to get the dog back. Dog don't die. Happy days." But like, there's so many people that are like, "Oh, PETA should be against this because of yada yada yada." By the way, PETA sucks. PETA is the last thing that you should be like, I don't want to say it's supporting. It's kind of like goodwill to me. I don't know if we'll get into it, but
there's a lot.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of controversial things that they do, but I mean, they're just trying to spread the word, and sometimes it gets out of hand, I believe.
Yeah,
and sometimes their message gets misinterpreted.
I think it's one of those things where, like, you'll hear, so you know how like people get offended. Okay, the Chinese dress.
Yes.
Okay, so the Chinese dress. At first, when I saw it, I was like, okay, I already know, like, someone's gonna be pissed. Someone's gonna get pissed, and I get it. I understand it, but why is the U.S. pissed, but China's not? You know what I mean? It's like when they asked China or the representatives, such as the culture and society, when they were saying it, they were like, "No, we love that she wear the dress. Yeah. She looks beautiful. Like, thank you for wearing the dress." But then there's people in America who aren't Asian that are just be like, "Oh, this is cultural appropriation," and they're just getting pissed. And it's when you have an argument that takes away from the valid arguments. That devalues your actual overall point. I don't want to say that there's an issue with culture appropriation because we're a mixing pot.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we do in general. We like to respect other people's cultures, but I can understand where it goes kind of far at times, and you feel like they're not doing it because they respect the culture, but they're doing it because they think they look fun and silly or whatever it is. It's not actually respecting it. It's more putting it as a prop rather than anything else.
I mean, it's one thing when you see someone like actually just doing it for like a laugh.
Yeah.
It's another thing when you actually see someone who actually loves the culture and wants to dive into the culture more. And to me, if I saw that from another from another culture, like adopting my ways of life, I'd be like, yes, like that's awesome. Like I'm glad you see like my culture fascinating. Like the word is spreading about your culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be just clothes, but it's like that's a culture statement.
Yeah. And so like I hate when people have an issue with certain things. I'm not even just talking about culture appropriation. I mean, I'm even talking about calling the cops on people and certain things that aren't exactly validated. And it's like you're hurting the genuine argument that we're trying to fight here. When you get upset over too many different things and you just become professionally offended, that becomes an issue because there are genuine issues that I understand stem where they get offended is where it stems from the actual issue, and I understand that and totally get it. But when you place that on PETA is kind of where I was trying to get with it, is that I think they get mad at too many things, and they're a bit hypocritical at times when it comes to certain statements and things kind of like that they hurt their overall argument, that it makes me kind of sway away from them and not want to listen to them. And I get it. They love pandas.
Yeah.
They love all wildlife. It's like, I support that. I definitely do.
Yeah, I support all wildlife. And, like, I mean, I feel like sometimes, like, if they would be not more cooperative, just more open to, like, how some of these organizations run their animals, like the zoo,
Mm-hmm.
SeaWorld. If it wasn't, I mean, yes, there are some things that everybody can do better on, even taking care of animals. But when you release animals that have been in captivity for so long, and you just release them to the wild, I mean, you remember the orca from Free Willy?
Mm-hmm.
They released that one into the wild, and all he did was just keep coming where people were at.
Yeah.
And eventually, he
What he's used to.
Yeah, that's what he starved. So, there are some that are actually taking the efforts now to reintroduce these animals back into the wild, but it takes time, and you can't. You have to also be They have to also be socially responsible with these animals.
Like, yeah, I was watching this this little zoo thing. I don't remember what animal it was. I think it was a smaller animal, but the purpose around it was they were trying to integrate that animal back into the actual wildlife. But the issue that they were having is they were dying, and it's like, duh. Yeah. Because they don't know how to fight. They don't know how to kill their food. They don't know how anything. All they know is random human being is going to walk up to me and give me food at 9 o'clock in the morning every single day. Yeah. Yeah, and that's where their biggest frustration is. And they know that. They know that that's a huge bit of their issue, but they have to take care of their... It's not like feeding a snake with a mouse. Yeah. Or you give it to them and you're in a cage and everyone's okay with it. It's not like you go into a lion's den and you're just like, here's like 10 live chickens, go at them, and then they know how to fight and they know how to kill. Granted, maybe that would work, but then people would be pissed about all the chickens that are being slaughtered and all that kind of stuff, and vegans.
I mean, if vegan's your way, it's
yeah, for sure.
But also, like, vegans come up, like, they think that they're just better like that, eating.
Actually, so at the party yesterday, we had a friend who's vegan. He doesn't like the vegan food, but he's eating like these vegan sausages. And like the host made like 25 pounds of like chicken fajita, and we're just munching them down. And he's a vegan by choice, not because he likes the food or anything like that.
He likes the health aspects.
Yeah, and then he was just like, yeah, I'm doing it for everyone, so none of you guys have to do it, and so I get to feel cool and better than all of you guys because I'm a vegan. And of course, he said it all jokingly. Yeah, he's probably one of the most amazing guys I've ever met.
No, man. There are some good vegans out there. It's just like there are some negative aspects to eating vegan, just because the amount
dark side vegans,
just the amount of water and actual agriculture it takes, like to be vegan. And because all that farming takes out wildlife habitats, and even them, when they plow their fields, they're killing numerous rabbits and what other field creatures are out there.
Your food is eating my food.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. It all works itself. I mean, it does matter, but you pick your poison. It doesn't matter. You pick your poison.
Yeah, something's got to give. Some way. It's yin and yang. It's not going to be 100% one way.
I wish, like, there's some neighborhoods here in San Antonio that have, like, a community garden, like, in the subdivision. And I think that would be awesome, like, to implement that into every subdivision that is either growing or, let's say, a lot got burned down or something. Yeah. You turn that into a community garden. How awesome would that be? Everyone's taking care of everyone else's plants. You build a community. But there's probably some city codes against that. I mean, when you start thinking about how to do things on your own, how to make things better, not only for yourself, but for the people around you, you just realize, like, government put in all these codes. Like, I understand, like, they're trying to maintain, like, a certain type of aspect, a certain type of culture.
I apologize, I'm pulling the phone up. I'm trying to find that penguin picture that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was back in Australia.
Is it possible for me to show the camera the penguin, or can you like post it up so people understand the penguin?
Well, if you go to my Instagram, it's
Big Curly 13.
Yeah, Big Curly 13. You go to my Instagram, there's a penguin, and he's kind of like cuddled in. I felt sorry for the animal because he was underneath this, because they built wooden bridges to go over the landscape, so that way you're not stomping on it or whatever, destroying up the the landscape.
Now, quick thing to see if you know, I might be entirely giving off some fake news right now, but I think penguins that are found on the beach, I think they're not scientific name, but some people, from what I've heard, call them dumbasses.
Dumbasses?
Yeah, like I think I might be just making this all up.
I have no idea.
I think I remember watching this on like Net Geo when I was like middle school, and they said that like penguins on the beach, that their nickname were dumbasses because it didn't make sense that they were on the beach because it was hot. They were walking around, people were like sunbathing, and they're just like waddling around, and I guess it makes sense. You're gonna call a penguin a dumbass.
Well, most penguins, they live on land. Like that's their relaxation. That's where they make the home. That's where they're born. Like they only go in the water to hunt. But
it was like specifically on a beach, like in the hot. Because typically you think penguin, you think Arctic, or you think they're sliding on the ice somewhere in the world.
How about this? I got that island I was on. Mm-hmm. It was pretty steep. Some parts of it was cliffs. Mm-hmm. Some parts of it like very like steep hills. But those little penguins, about this big, still got to the top on their two little web
dumbass
feet.
Penguins.
Yes, like I was like, I would struggle climbing up this.
Oh yeah.
How do they? And they got like little legs.
Yeah.
How are they managing to climb all the way up here?
Have you seen the video with the penguins that like have to get across that like little piece of like what is it string? There's like a piece of string, and there's the Australian guy who like Aussies something, and like these penguins have to like jump over this thing, and they're super scared of it, and they can't, and that makes me. That's so crazy that they literally spent like 15 minutes trying to get across a piece of string, but then they climbed this like cliffside with like ease. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing, and here's a little side story. Like that island, the natural habitat or reservation, that it's a reservation park. They had this little event where you could watch the penguins march, where they all come. You just see them all come out of the water, and then they go across the beach. Go up to their nesting grounds up there to feed their young ones. You have to pay for that. But we drove around, my girlfriend and I, we drove around to the point where like we could see the march from a distance on top of one of the cliffs. And we're waiting right as the sun's going down. Park ranger. Like we weren't the only ones up there. There's probably like eight other vehicles up there.
Yeah.
But then we start hearing this horn going off, and they're just bah bah bah, like super annoying.
Who's this asshole ruining the mood?
We're like, who's this asshole ruining? Like, what's going on here? And we look back, and is that the park ranger? Are they being serious? Like, are they that stingy about us not paying, getting a free view from like not a very good like? It's not distance?
Your view. That's the government's view. Don't you forget it.
Well, because like I looked at the tickets to like view from like one of the platforms. It was like $70 a person. But if you want to view from like the grandstand at the beach, it's like over $125. Like that's ridiculous to watch nature.
Yeah,
nature's supposed to be free.
Man, I believe it. If there's some way that we can, this world is going to make money from something, they're going to do it.
Well, then there was also this other thing where I thought was kind of artificial. Like, I feel like they made that penguin march happen because they built all these wooden boxes. I can understand like they were building them to help them nest their grounds so that way they already have a protective home. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, I bet they built all these boxes over here, and then because of that, these penguins just started marching up there.
Yeah, so. I feel like. Because this is going to be like an hour or so video or something like that.
Whatever you want it to be.
Well, what I was going to say is like I feel like we go off on tangents so damn much on this that if someone's just like skipping around, you're going to see a bunch of like different subjects that none of them even like, what is it? None of them can conclude. It's just a bunch of
we are
statements.
I mean, we're both expressing ourselves. You're asking about my background, your pictures you've seen on my Instagram. I'm asking you about Blue Fox.
It's just like I hear things, and then my mind just like, say this.
Yes.
There's a story you remember. Like right now, where you're talking about paying for something and sneaking in. Back in the day, early college life, we didn't want to pay for Fiesta Texas tickets. So we would all pitch in maybe like $5 or whatever. So one person would actually get the ticket. But what would happen is, you know how you can leave, right? And they give you the stamp?
Yeah, give you the stamp.
You get the stamp, and then they have a bathroom that's like right around the corner that's right outside the park. And we'd all be inside the bathroom. And you'd go over, and then you lick your hand, and then you go to the person and press the stamp on it. You can still do it now. So if you guys want to do that, it works. And you just press it, and you go back in, not with that same person. And you go back in like 20 minutes later because they don't remember. People are walking in.
Yeah, people are walking in.
People walk in, just do that, and they see it glow on your hand. Like, all right, come on in. We saved, I don't know, like $200 that day just getting like 6 people in for free.
It's all right. they don't make their money off the tickets. They make their money off concession stands. Yeah, Dippin' Dots. They're good, all their souvenirs. I mean, even games. Like, you go there, you see a game that you pretty confident you can win, but it's probably has some little jiggy rig to it.
Oh, yeah. No, there's those YouTube videos about them. And if you actually look into them, the way that they do that stuff, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
set up for you to fail.
Yeah, 100%. Like it should be illegal. I don't know why I'm getting so mad about that. Like, out of everything, like penguins being abused, and I'm just like,
hey, they're stealing your dollar. You're stealing your hard-working dollar.
This is not fair. I want that SpongeBob thing.
It's all like, you tricked me. How dare you insult me by tricking my intelligence?
Yeah. But then I saw that guy who just like, he just brought all of his own rings and just like threw them all of the bottles, and he won like 6 prizes.
Oh, wow.
But I think they let him do it because he was like a big high-end YouTuber that was doing some random video and it promotion and shit.
Have you seen the same thing? Have you seen the YouTube videos for arcade games where there's a couple of them, they go to arcade places and they show you how to cheat certain games that you can get more tickets?
The only thing I know about that is like, and I've tried it once and it didn't work. My friend and I, it was like middle school, and we took like, I don't remember what it was. It wasn't a drill. I think maybe it was a drill. But the point was that we drilled a hole inside of a quarter. And put a string in it, because you always see it in like cartoons.
Oh, like
whatever.
Old school soda machines or something.
Yeah, it never worked. It never worked. But that's what it made me think of. But yeah. What ways can you trick an arcade machine?
Well, it just depends on the machine. You can either, like the jumping one, you just put your foot on it and then you just lift your
one.
Yeah, where you jump and it goes in a circle. Like it goes in a circle, and then you're supposed to jump when it gets to the bottom.
Yeah, how do you trick that?
You just get one foot on the pad, one foot staying off the pad, and just go up and down.
Yeah.
It's a lot more easier, but I only do it like whenever I just want more tickets, just a little bit more than what I already have.
Have you seen that kid who like, and damn that little kid, damn the parents who like weren't there.
Little Tay?
No, we'll talk about her in a bit. I got some shit to say about that. But no, I'm talking about the little kid. It was some video of like this little kid, and he was at like Peter Piper Pizza or Chuck E. Cheese or something, and he's standing on top of all the skee ball machines, grabbing all the kids' skee balls and like just like putting them in the thing. And like there were like no parents in sight to like grab this kid. I'm really gonna destroy your table.
Nah, that's fine.
And like the employees are trying to like catch this little kid, and he's like jumping back and forth on all these like little skee ball things. He's hitting employees, and he's just like he's being a little dick. And like that shit pisses me off. Like when parents aren't there to make sure that their kids aren't infringing on other children's rights to skee ball.
Yeah, to enjoy like the true game.
But you need to watch it. It's a funny ass video, though.
I mean,
it's a funny video.
I'm sure it is. And there was a couple times like I loved playing skee ball when I was a kid, going to the arcade games playing the skee ball. But there was a couple times where I'm like, I've been hitting like the bottom one. I'm just gonna go run up there and drop it in
super
the 50.
Tangent. Super sorry. So my band Rumors, right? We played a South by Wasn't South by show? It was last year. It was a while back. And so we split off. It was me, my girlfriend, and our bassist Eddie. And we went to this really cool bar. Like, no one was in it, but like they had like an arcade machine and skee balls, but it was like a regular like dive bar. Mm-hmm. And there were some guys there like with papers, and they were writing down numbers, and they're playing ski. Is it skee ball? Shit, I don't remember if it was. Yeah. It was skee ball. Yeah, I think it was skee ball. Yeah. Definitely was. And like, they were professional skee ball players. They were getting ready for tournaments. Really? Yeah, wow. That's why they were there. Like, they had like a price that you can pay for members, and they can, you know, practice. But it was just like a hole in the wall, like random bar. It wasn't obviously a skee ball out front. Everyone come here. But when you went in there, it was weird, and they were talking shit too. Like, it was these grown-ass 40-year-old men talking shit. When you're good, I guess you could talk shit, no matter how old you are. But they were talking shit about skee ball, and we were like, oh, okay. And so we started playing against them. Eddie wrecked the hell out of them. Like, he was just destroying them hundreds back to back. And we were like, what? Eddie is a low-key, like, skee ball professional, and they weren't talking shit anymore after that. It was great. That's awesome. It was somewhere in Austin. You guys need to check it out. Go to the bar. No shout-out, because I don't know their name, but...
Well, what do you know what street it was off? Rainy Street or something?
No, it was...
Some hole in the wall.
No good direction of Austin. Yeah. It was in that area.
Well... Let's try to get back to sure. Blue Fox production.
Oh yeah, that's why we're here.
Oh yeah. So what are your current projects? I know we were talking about D'Anthony Salon.
Yeah.
You might be a little behind on that one, but
yeah, I'm a little bit behind. It'll probably come out maybe Tuesday instead of tomorrow.
You get it out.
But so basically. So when we started out as Blue Fox Sessions, which is that's still running. We still have a couple of videos coming out. We have Culture Wars coming out. Mm-hmm. Laura Marie, which by the way, I'll talk about that in a second. That one was a badass session. But Blue Fox Productions is basically me and my team of Miguel, Kevin, sometimes Mario, Josh Pereira.
I remember when I messaged you, I was all like, yeah, Miguel told me to send you a message, and you're all like, oh, that Miguel. I was like, ooh.
And it's funny.
What juicy stories behind that?
It's funny because I don't know any other Miguels. So it's not like it's not like I'm thinking he's some other Miguel that I really like, because I hate Miguel. I'm just kidding. I love that guy. He helps out a lot.
Oh no, man! He talks so much about you. I was just like, I gotta get this guy on my podcast. Like, he just sounds like so interesting to me.
Well, thank you. Wait,
thank
Miguel
you for
or me?
On. Both of y'all. Like, when I brought Miguel on, like, when I first heard like his band, I was like,
yeah, Marlaveau.
Yeah, I was like, this is really good music. Like, to me, like, it's really good. Like, I'm not music savvy, but I know like music that feels good to me, and if it makes me feel good, I want to share it. Like, I want to share, like,
for sure,
maybe someone else and make it feel good.
I saw you posted their music video that they just came out with.
Yeah. Oh, and how about that other band, that little kid band? I posted on my Facebook page, like, just little kids just rocking out, being like
I think I know what you're talking about.
Like, they're musicians, just
they're musicians.
Sorry. Musicians.
There you
Thank you. Man, I was just talking about that to my girlfriend earlier. How my job, I don't really get to talk to people, and it's sometimes.
You don't get to talk to people? What do we? Oh, your job. Okay, I thought you were talking about this. I was like, what the hell are we doing now?
My other job, my day job, pays the bills job.
The gasoline thing.
I drive around in a truck just pretty much all day, and it's just, to me, I'm either listening to my audiobooks, podcasts, or music, which, by the way, I'm loving Spotify, just either the daily mixes or just being able to go down and look at my phone, just type in whatever song comes to my mind, and I'm able to play it.
Real quick thing, do you have an Xbox One?
No.
But I found this really cool thing that, like, you can just say what you want, and it'll just do whatever.
Really?
Yeah. It's laying in bed, but you have to have a mic so it can hear you and everything.
Oh, is it like a Siri or something, or?
Kinda, but actually probably a bit more productive. Like, let's say you're playing Halo and you got some really cool shot and you want to record it. You just say record, and it'll just start recording like the last 30 seconds.
I heard of that.
Whatever it was. Or the reason I said for the Spotify thing is you can just say, play Spotify this song, and it'll just start playing. Yeah. It's like, it's super easy. Super easy. I mean, with Siri, I can barely get anything out of this woman to even say anything.
Hey, you gotta come over to my side. You know, it may look like an iPhone, but it's a little bit better.
By the way, I don't like Apple. I don't like Apple one bit. I think.
Try the Pixel.
Once this phone is destroyed, and I have an extra, like, I was gonna say $1,000, but I realized this is $1,000. That is not $1,000.
No, that was just a couple $100. Actually, when I got it, I got the Pixel when it first came out. This is the first Pixel. It came out. I went to Best Buy. I just got one of their super amazing deals that they offer from time to time. Got like a $200 gift card that I just applied to buying the phone. And I only paid like $110 for the phone.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
It was.
No, I'm sure that's worth it. I mean, people are like, oh, the iPhone's the best thing ever, and I'm just like, camera's not the best. In these newest models, you don't even have a thing.
Hey, Google.
Ah.
Play a song. No. Sing a song. Sing a song.
Songs. I love singing songs.
It doesn't count because that's auto-tuned. Obviously auto-tuned.
All right. How about this? Tell me a joke.
Did you hear about the world's largest pickle? It's a really big dill.
I mean, you can sometimes go off on a tangent on Google Assistant, and I feel like.
But have you seen that new Google thing? The Google Deluxe or Google Deluxe? What is it?
Which one?
They just did a premiere of it like the other day, where you can be like, "Hey Google, get me a hair appointment at this place."
Oh yeah.
In between this time to this time, and it's not there yet, but they were showing it, and it was realistic AI talking to the person with a set of details that they needed to make sure were going to happen, and it's so strange, it's so weird. But it's amazing.
Something similar, like you can, like I can say, okay, Google, give a name of a place, and if it's something I want to book an appointment, it'll tell me, yes, that's available. Would you like to book it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
And it'll say, all right, booked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool. Like, you can do that just talking to your phone.
Yeah.
Like, how amazing. It's kind of scary at the same time because of all this whole, like, privacy issues. But you're already carrying something that's telling somebody where you're at 24/7.
Even if your GPS is off, even if your phone is off.
Yes.
It'll still track an estimated GPS coordinate.
Because
as long as you're like, once I leave this place, it won't track where I'm going, but it'll track that I left this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but once your phone is on with GPS, it'll actually track where you're going.
Yeah, it'll give you like a general location between like 3 towers of where you're at.
Yeah.
If you don't have the GPS on, but if you have the GPS on 24/7, it literally tracks your movement throughout. And I even heard stories from other people that have this phone. Or even a similar Android, if they go to like work, I don't experience it because I don't go to the same place every day for work. But some people, they go to the same place every day for work, and it'll be like, your estimated drive route is blah blah blah.
I actually like that though. I like that because when I used to be a Froyo master, for those that don't know, honestly, most people don't know what Froyo is, like the actual word Froyo.
What is Froyo?
Do you know what Froyo is?
No.
You're one of those people.
Yeah,
frozen yogurt.
So. Really?
Froyo.
Okay.
Frozen yogurt.
I'm just used to calling it frozen yogurt.
Yeah, but Froyo.
Froyo.
It's so hip.
Froyo.
Yeah, so I used to be a Froyo master at like Minchie's. I mean, I manage things, I guess. But it was extremely helpful because I would get into my car at like 5 p.m. La Cantera, and it's like I have to drive to North Star. So bullshit on 604 and I-10. And he's like, which bullshit do I take? and this one always tells me it's always I-10, but I like the idea of like it always having like a suggested route as soon as the second I get in my car, it'll be like, hey, by the way, take this route, bro. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, like, oh, your doctor's appointment is in 1 hour. You should leave in 20 minutes if you want to arrive there on time.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I should get ready.
That's pretty cool.
Like,
I think you were saying something about Spotify, that we went into like 9 million tangents.
Nah, it's all weird. No, Spotify, like, I just love it because it's able to like show me new music, even international music that sometimes just plays. And like, there was one like German song that I thought sounded really cool.
Du hast.
And then
that's like the only German song that I know.
This other one, I don't even want to butcher it, but I was like, man, this sounds really good. It sounds intense.
Oh yeah.
And then I translated. It's all about something about ships in the sea and bombing. I was like, what? I was like, I was just lost in the beat and the music. I was just like, yes. And like because when you don't understand the language, you just listen to the like how they're singing the words.
Oh, for sure.
How it flows with their.
I remember. Oh my god! It was something that it kind of just disgusted me, especially at first. And it was like, so at first, like I'll have family where the parents are like singing, take it to the candy shop, type of thing.
Yeah.
I'll hear my mom just like singing it, and I'm like, Mom, stop it. You don't even know what's about. I was like, I don't know. It's a nice beat, and I'm just like. I don't even want to say what it's about here. But yeah, so it's not something good. If you haven't heard about it, I guess you're too young to know about it because that song came out a while back. Don't look it up. Maybe look it up. It's a pretty good song if you just want to jam, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good beat if you just want to just sing along.
But then at the time, my little cousins, they were singing some other songs that were just as suggestive. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, you have no idea what you're saying. You're in like, you're like 11, 12 years old.
It's not about what it's saying. It's what it's making them feel. It's what it's making them move their body, how it's making them move their body. Like some music, you just want to like swing your hips. Like it makes you want to like dance.
For sure. But then
I'm not a dancer. I'm not nowhere close to it. But I'm like when I feel music, like I feel it beating through my heart. I feel it beating through my chest, and it works its way down.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes, like, my girlfriend's just telling me, like, be more relaxed. If you want to dance, just dance. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And, like, who's going to care? I'm like, yeah, that's true. You're an ant in an anthill around a bunch of other ants. Yeah. Like, who's going to pay attention? Yeah. Most of the time, we don't even know when we're at a bar or a club, we don't know what the people next to us are saying or doing. Like, we're just like, we're all having a good time.
It don't matter. Do you know who Tekashi 6ix9ine is?
No.
Good. Well, have you seen the guy with like that has the 6ix9ine on his face and he's like that with everything on him?
Is that him?
Yeah, that's him. He has an allegation that he pled guilty to with basically a double teaming threesome on like a 13-year-old. Mm. Yeah. And I see people like trying to defend him, being like, "Oh, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence?" He
admitted guilty.
He admitted to it. He's guilty. He said he was guilty, and he's on like this whole plea deal type thing. The point is, back to your Spotify thing. Spotify actually has just rolled out this new thing where they're not censoring, but they're taking certain artists off playlists, like Ray J. Mm-hmm. Did I say right? Ray J? The guy who like peed on this like 15-year-old girl?
No.
R&B artist, hip hop artist? No.
Ray J.
Nelly did not piss on anyone. Ray J.
Ray J. Was it Ray J?
Yeah.
That was Nelly. For some
It's not Nelly.
I'm sorry.
Definitely not Nelly. I'm pretty sure it's Ray J.
It was a couple years ago, right? A while
It was like, I think it was like more than a decade ago.
Yeah, it was a while back.
It was a while back when he was really in the scene and he was really big. But point is, all of his stuff got taken off because of that. Artists that are experiencing allegations and things like that, all their stuff is being taken off playlists and all that kind of stuff. Now, they're just not promoting and they're not putting them on playlists. You can have your music on there, but someone with Ray J, it's all gone.
It's just completely wiped out.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know Spotify actually takes the initiative to do stuff like that.
They're kind of going in that direction. I hope they don't go the YouTube direction where it's like the adpocalypse and destroying all these users. Like, I mean, I don't know if you partake, this is Texas, so I'm not going to say anything.
Well, no, go for it. I'm open to it.
No, but like weed, marijuana, the marijuana.
Oh, yeah. How it's a touchy issue and all that. And also because Texas is more in kind of like Bible state.
Yeah, but like with like YouTube, recently they've just been deleting accounts because they're smoking weed on their account. But it's not like accounts where they're like, get high, little kids, drop out of school, do drugs, man. It's more of like, oh, hey, for someone who's in a legal state, and they're like, we're in a legal state, it's fine. I mean, it's not federally accepted, so there's always that, which is why YouTube's hands are kind of tied against it.
It depends on the YouTube channel's reach. Like, I'm pretty sure if they have a deep reach.
So it was hundreds of accounts that are anywhere between like 200,000 to like 1.2 million.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And these are people who are trying to like give knowledge. They're not just like sitting in the chair smoking weed trying to be a nuisance.
Telling BS
it's
stories.
like, hey, so you should try this or try that. These are the products, yada, yada, yada. But the issue apparently of what it was, they didn't specify, and that's one of my biggest issues with YouTube is when they start striking you and start trying to like take you down, they don't tell you why. They tell you the generalization. It could be one of these 9 million things.
9 million statements that are code that it might fall into.
But when Philip DeFranco did the show, he looked into it, and from what he found, his sources were kind of pushing towards the direction of, oh, well, they have a link below. So technically, they're soliciting marijuana online.
Okay.
Technically. Yeah. And that's kind of like...
Well, if it's a sponsor, I mean, some of those places that...
And it is.
Yeah.
But still within their federal guidelines on YouTube, they can't solicit marijuana. And that's the idea. That's why their hands are tied. That's why I'm not mad at YouTube, but it's like so stupid. Hashtag
I understand.
Jeff Sessions.
I understand. Like, they're playing by the rule book.
Yeah, they're playing by the rule book. I hate the rule book, but they're playing by it. Yeah.
To keep their product going, they have to make amendments.
For sure.
Like, all right, guys, like, yes, we have to shut you down. But, I mean, I see it on here, like, when I broadcast and my behind
They're
the
shutting
scenes.
you down.
My behind the scenes, like, it tells me, I have, like, a little meter. It says, you're in good meter with YouTube. Yeah. Like, happy face. And then there's, like, 4 other lines, like, wow, how bad do some people get? Like,
we're going to destroy you.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, YouTube does warn you, like, before they do something, they're going to shut down your channel. Like,
they sometimes do. You need to look into it. They've been doing some shitty things lately. I'll send you some links so you can check it out and watch out for it.
But it is hard because they're the best, one of the best, like, medias to throw
they're definitely the best. They're currently definitely the best media in general for creators, yes. I would say. But their stance on making people user-friendly or ad-friendly or taking away power from creators and stuff like that, that's where I get into
that's
the
when you get
things.
into someone creating like a new YouTube, something different but similar.
That's what Weed did. It's called WeedTube. Go there if you want to. Oh, wait, I might get your video pulled. My bad.
No, it's all good. But like you said, like that's when something gets too restrictive for artists or creators, anybody.
Yeah.
Where something is too restrictive.
Diversify.
That's where diversify happens. That's where someone creates something new, something different, and other people go to that, and then essentially that will become the new YouTube, and that will start having guidelines and restrictions according to the government in order to keep their business thriving. But you have to play the system if you want to be in the game.
Now, I guess we'll get back to Blue Fox. Obviously, I don't want to talk about Blue Fox. I want to talk about dumbass penguins and whatnot. Penguins are great.
That penguin, like, so he was underneath this pathway because I told you they built pathways over the landscape so you don't degraded. He was underneath, like, there's this group of people. I felt bad because there's a group of people and he was just underneath and they were like reaching down, and it was just like a group of people just reaching down, like almost sticking their camera into his face.
I hate that shit. Like,
well,
real quick. I went to the Pearl just to do some random shooting, whatever. And these people kept like there was this duck the duck looked mangled. Like it wasn't looking like that was the best day for the duck, but it was obviously on top of its nest, and people were like trying to poke the duck, and I'm just like, motherfuckers, like, get off the duck, like, no, quit your shit. And then right next to the duck, there's like at least 6 random containers of plastic just chilling out, and I'm just like,
yeah, someone come pick that up.
Someone come pick this up and stop messing with this damn duck. It's trying to be a mother. Let it be a mother.
Well,
yeah.
And then that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, I reached down and got a picture of the penguin too, but afterwards I was just like, let's just move away from him because when I looked at the picture, I saw it. I was like, it looks kind of frightened. Like, I don't really want to be here. I'm just stuck here because there's all these people. I'm like, now I feel bad because I took that picture and I'm like, I was part of the problem instead of trying to be above the problem. But it happens. I was caught up in the moment. I was penguin. Never seen a penguin before, and I wanted to like capture the moment.
That reminds me of the bear and I guess.
Okay, I wouldn't take a selfie with the bear behind me. No,
that's stupid.
Yes, that is a predator.
I saw a video last night, 5 o'clock in the morning, while I'm trying to sleep, of this I guess this couple. They get out of their car at like a zoo, like a car zoo, and there's lions like walking around, and the dad is holding the baby in like his like pouch, and they get out to take a picture with the lions, and the lions are like trying to like slash at them, and they're trying to get back to their car, and I'm just like, why would you do that? Like, where around that makes you think, okay, I should do this?
I don't know. I mean, people seem to forget that they're predators. Yeah. Like, they eat other animals. Like, they eat other flesh. Like, that's what they want.
Yeah.
And people think
they're not vegans. Come on.
Either they watch too many cartoons where the lions are playing friends with the zebras and everything. I'm like, no, that's not. Like, they're wild animals. Even a stray cat. I'm hesitant to walk.
I'm actually quite sure that it's Instagram. It's Instagram's fault.
Oh yeah, you want to
because you get people who are like, who actually work at zoos who take a picture with their friendly lion. They're trained exactly, but not only are they trained, but they're trained with that trainer who's taking the picture.
They're imprinted onto that animal.
Exactly. And people are just like, oh, see, lions are nice. Yeah. I'm gonna take a picture with it. No, don't do that.
Yeah, like, I mean, even those there's one lion video out there. I forget what it's called, but it was this guy. He raised a lion from when he was a cub, so he pretty much imprinted himself onto that lion.
Wasn't that one where like he finally sees him later and he like hugs him and he's like, ah.
Like, he looks like he's running at him about to attack him, and then he just grabs him and holds on to him. I was like, yeah, I can see that making sense because he imprinted on him. It's like not seeing your dog in the last 5 years, and then you come through the door and it's all like, oh my God, you're here. Yeah. You're actually here.
I love dogs.
Yeah, I love my dog.
So a really, really cool thing that we've been doing that hasn't been released yet. So we did a production shoot for Blue Fox Sessions in a castle.
Yeah, I saw really that. Cool. I saw that up there near Austin, right?
Yeah, and it's like super secluded. The place is literally a castle, and apparently it's called Wonder Audio. And this is a guy who apparently would make like $200,000 like mixing boards, and he would make them specifically for like Led Zeppelin and things like that. Like, he is high end shit. Like, apparently, like, when we were gonna go, it was just like, you know, no one is typically ever allowed to be here.
Tangent. Since you say like legendary shit, have you ever played video games, like PC games or anything like that?
I used to play. My brother got me to playing LOL for a little bit, League of Legends. I don't care for it, and I don't have that much fun, but I like to have fun with it. And I used to play Age of Empires. Those are the two games.
Well, like when you talk legendary, like when you level up so much, you get to that high level, you're all like, where's all the legendary shit? I'm like above this regular equipment. Like, where's this legendary epic like armor?
Yeah.
Because that's what I need. I need to go slay this dragon that has like 2 heads, like 6 wings, and all this, and I need epic gear.
Dude, so I have been playing Halo since like 5th grade. It's essentially the only video game I've been playing ever.
You probably rock on that game, man.
I do. No, but and the other day I was like, man, I'm getting fed up with Halo 5. It's getting annoying. I'm just too good. I'm just kidding. But like, and I decided to buy my first game in like a decade.
What'd you buy?
Tomb Raider. 2013. It was $19.
Old one. No.
Yeah, it was just like $19. So I was like, okay, but I didn't realize it was 2013. I was like, I want to buy this game, have some fun with it, see how it is. I saw some good reviews. I bought it. I loved it, and I thought the graphics were like amazing and yada yada yada. And I would make an event out of it because I have a 50-inch TV in my room and it's super close. So then I would like turn off all the lights and make it like a super cinematic experience and watch all the cutscenes and whatever. I had fun with it. I thought this was a game that was like put out like a year ago. Little do I know, it was like 2013, and the graphics for the new like 4th one, like there's a bunch of other ones. For like the newest one, is like photorealistic. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's crazy.
I'll do that.
It's like playing a movie. It's like playing a movie.
Mm-hmm. I'll go through YouTube and I'll watch, because there's some channels out there that show like the evolution of graphics for some video games.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Tomb Raider. Like, you see her from the first Tomb Raider game, how pixelated and distorted she is. And then you just see the evolution. Like, back then when I was a kid, teenager, young adult, seeing, like, the transgression. It's not going to fall. Seeing that transgression of, like, graphics. Mm-hmm. How much it's improving. Like, every year I'm like, wow, this looks realistic. This looks real.
Yeah.
And then the next year, wow, this looks even realer. Like, it's just going to get to the point where, like, virtual reality, augmented reality, just basically you can see them standing right in front
of your mind.
Nah. I'll wear electronics. I'll put them in my pockets. But yeah, it's me to embed it into my skin.
Did you hear about those employees?
Yes.
The ones that are getting like the trackers or whatever, the employee trackers inside of their wrists and shit. No, sir. And it's like law now in like some like I think 2 states.
What?
Yeah, that employers can like require it.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely not. I'll go find some other job.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, maybe these new kids. I mean, they seem to all be about wearing technology and all that, but not me.
These little Tays.
Oh, well, yeah. It's just, little Tay.
Oh, little Tay.
Is she really that rich, or
no? She's not.
Or we just made her that rich. America made her rich.
So like, and we were talking about it. We were driving to the party, and we were just like thinking.
Little Tay is this Instagram 9-year-old Asian. I believe she has Asian features.
She's Asian. Yeah. She's definitely Asian.
Okay, but yeah, it's just Little Tay. Go look her up on Instagram. I find it hilarious just because the crap that she says.
It's hilarious, but it pisses me off that she has 1.2 million followers, and she's literally getting out of a Ferrari with hundreds of dollars, just being like, I'm flexing here, I'm flexing there, I got more money than you and your mom, and yada, yada, yada. And she does, but then we find out she doesn't. Because like 6 days ago, apparently, like, the mother was outed basically as being the manager of her. So, horrible mother. But I guess they come up with a pretty good reason, saying that she's just an actor. That they're doing this so that she can get more attention and get movie roles. Well, that's the idea.
Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Same thing.
But so the mom got fired or let go. Basically, she lost her job, and the company put out a statement saying, we don't condone this act, yada, yada, yada. But I think because the last video that they did was her getting out of her boss's car. Lil Tay is getting out of her mom's boss's car, and they didn't know about it, but they saw it on the video. And man, like, I'm happy that like she's getting shit. You know, as a little 9-year-old, I'm like happy she's being torn down. But the haters
are gonna make her grow twice as much as well.
Yeah, more than likely.
So, I mean, 1.2 million followers. I'm pretty sure she's.
I'm sure she's making money on her own. She definitely is making money on her own, but not to the level of that money because they're living in a like apartment.
And that's the way I see it. Like I saw it like when I first.
And they live in Canada, by the way. They don't live in LA. The pictures were like, oh, I'm in LA, yada yada. Mm-hmm. It's actually Canada. Yeah, it's Vancouver.
But yeah, like when I first got introduced to Lil Tay, I was just all like, oh, this is like a story.
Yeah.
She's just portraying like a part in her own little world. Like, I know this isn't real. Like, she's even like, oh, fuck all you little haters. Y'all jealous because y'all saying I got money. I don't have money, but I really do. I'm all like, oh, she's just playing a role. She's playing an act. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
But there comes a point in time where, sure, it is an act. And, like, you see kind of like when you see an actor in a movie and they're the villain, they're killing people, you don't obviously think they kill people or anything like that. But in this perspective, this child who's not grown, doesn't have any idea how the real world works yet.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to not believe that at least 20%, at least, of her acting with the whole money and everything isn't her actual attitude.
Oh, it probably is.
Exactly. And that's because some people are like, oh, she's just acting. It's not actually how she is. She's just a normal little child, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, she's not normal. No. She's not a normal child. No, it's not. By any means. And that's when that plays into it. Now, if the girl was a nice little girl, okay. But there was this video where she's like crying. And she's like, screw all you haters. Stop hating on me. I think it was, do you know who Rice Gum is?
Rice Gum, no.
Good. He's a trash YouTuber. Trash. But so apparently his fans were like shitting on her about something, and she was crying, and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make my mom proud, and yada yada. And I'm just like, she's genuinely crying. I believe her. And the things that she's saying, I believe her, and that's the issue. She wants to make her mom proud by being like, I'm flexing on these bitches with all this money, yada, 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 yada. That's sad.
Well, the question is now, like, how did the parents evolve from this? Do they take an more active role instead of using their child, or they just build off her success?
They're going to build off her success. They're going to continue to use her child.
But then it comes down to, as you see in the past, like in the past with child actors.
Yeah, definitely. Macaulay Culkin.
How they failed later on in life because of the way they were treated when they were a kid. Everything was just given and shown to them.
For sure. Like there was that Demi Lovato thing where like she has her new thing coming out, and like the first statement is, I haven't done an interview this long without being on like a shit ton of cocaine or whatever. And at that time, she was like apparently like 15, 16, like just doing drugs. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Well, Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
But I try to limit myself from social media as much as possible because I mean, like you were talking.
I'm a goddamn sponge, man. I'm a sponge.
You are. But like when you came in and we first met outside and it's just like beautiful day outside. It's just sun is out. It's not hot. It's not cold. It's just a wonderful day to be outside. So if you're watching this or listening to it, make sure if it's sun's out, stop this, go outside, enjoy the sun. I mean,
unsubscribe and go outside.
Don't unsubscribe, but subscribe if you want. But yeah, I mean, that's just, it's crazy how the media is evolving. Like, imagine what social media is going to be out in the next 10 years.
I don't want to imagine it.
It's going to be crazy.
I honestly wouldn't have a social media if I wasn't doing videography, if I wasn't in a band, if, I didn't have any of these things. I wouldn't, man. I just have my phone, call someone, whatever. I miss the days where we'd get off the bus and we wouldn't go home. Our parents would be mad because we were playing soccer outside at the bus stop for like an hour. And we'd leave and
I miss the days of connectivity.
Yeah.
Where
but nowadays you can take a shit, and I have, while making deals. I've done that. And it's
setting up appointments.
Yeah. It's amazing the things you can do. Like, I remember one day, I was just a busy day, but I laid in bed all day because I got everything done on my phone. She's like, "What are you doing? Laying in bed? What? I thought you were going to do something today." I am. I'm making deals.
Right. Now I'm a salesperson. I'm like, Trevor, I can make you 10 times more efficient. Oh, yeah? If you just let me implant this Apple chip into your mind.
No, I'm
completely integrates your mind into your iPhone, and you become 10 times more efficient.
It's gonna happen in like 5 years.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, would you do it?
No, God no.
If it made you that more, got you that much.
Maybe
more
if it was something that wasn't actually integrated with me.
It has to be.
But it was like something that like I can maybe wear. That I could be like, fuck this today, I'm taking it off. You know, like it's so it doesn't become like a Black Mirror episode and start like killing you and killing everyone around you.
Boston Dynamics. Like I remember watching this episode of in Black Mirror where it starts off these two people are in a warehouse trying to steal something, and then this dog robot, little thing, like didn't look that big, but it's a vicious killer. Yeah. And then I watched this video of Boston Dynamics, and I'm all like, why are we designing and building robots that only super elite fitness humans can do? Yeah. Like, you can run,
because
backflips.
If they're not doing it, someone else is going to do it. And that someone else may not be someone you want them to be doing it. Like Russia.
Everyone's doing it. I mean, and then the whole AI, like when you read articles about companies that experiment with AI and how their AI just goes off on a tangent. Like either one, it creates its own little language and you have no idea what they're talking about with one another. So they just shut them off. And then the other one, I think it was Twitter's AI?
What was it?
I think Twitter released an artificial intelligence Twitter account.
Honestly, I think Twitter is the most useless social media unless you're famous. If you're not famous, there's no reason why you need it. Yeah. There's no reason why you need updates with a 1-sentence update every minute.
There are some people.
It's annoying. I hate
getting a coffee at Starbucks today.
You know, I only got Twitter once. I did make an account only once so I could follow Shia LaBeouf as he went. Do you know what I'm talking about? Uh-huh. Where he made his pick me up and take me wherever you want and yada yada yada.
Well, I have been thoroughly entertained with Chris D'Anella and Logan Paul exchange on Twitter.
Logan Paul.
Yes, but Chris D'Anella's just been putting him in his spot. Good. I mean, if it's awesome, go check it out. It's just Chris D'Elia. He's a comedian. He's a stand-up actor.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Check him out. He's awesome.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
He's straight and to the point, brutally honest. Doesn't give it a F about.
Logan Paul doesn't deserve it.
No.
Logan Paul doesn't deserve to give a nice tap on the ass. He needs to just be take him down.
And that's what Chris D'Elia is doing, over words, and then Chris D'Elia talked on his podcast. He's like, "Where is Logan Paul coming at me for? Doesn't he know that stand-up comedians, this is our job. We go on stage to fail. That's what you learn early on in the game is that you go on stage to fail. There is no success. The only success comes after bombing multiple times.
I came here to fail. I'm going to fail at this so many more times.
Nah. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people come in here thinking, I was telling you earlier, they come in here thinking it's a interview.
It's like a questionnaire.
Expecting a Diane Sawyer's episode.
See, that's why I like these tangents. I know we want to... I know, 1% of this entire thing has been about what I do. It builds
up your personality. It shows your personality to whoever's watching this.
Yeah.
It's not just like a 5-minute clip of,
here's my promo. This is what I do. Buy my shit. Yeah. And I'm happy about that because my girlfriend, she gets mad at me a lot because at parties I do way too much businessy. But it's like someone's like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, I do So Far Sounds. I do Blue Fox. And I start getting into it. And before they know, I've tried to get them to go to a show and whatever. But it's like, it's so difficult to not talk about what I do. Because it's what I do. It's like, if someone's like, oh, what do you do? I play guitar. Oh, okay, cool. Can you show me a song? Cool. But it's like, oh, what do you do? I do videos. I do this. And it just turns into business. And I can talk about Blue Fox and So Far and what I do like to the day's end. But that's not really what I want to do.
See, and then I would be the counter opposite to that. When I go to parties or even an outing, like, I don't express myself to people. Instead, I'm all like, oh, tell me more about really. And I'll just go on a tangent with them on things that they done in their past, how they got to this point in their life. I'm just all like, I want to hear your story. Yeah. And then I'll be like, oh, yeah. And like my girlfriend mentioned, like, oh, he has a podcast. I was like, yeah, I got a podcast. I do this.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that old thing, whatever that is.
I'm like, I mean, I love hearing other people's stories, like hearing their life, like, journey.
Yeah.
Because I strongly feel that too many people just live a pattern life, like just the same boring psychological pattern life that you just get stuck into a rant and then you just forget about everything around you. You just get stuck in a bubble.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people are. You get stuck in a bubble. You don't know what's going on in the outside world.
And do you know what's crazy? The idea that, I mean, perceptually, that there are other realities. I'm a huge physics person. I 100% believe in other realities and universes and all this kind of stuff. But my point is, the way that I look at myself, the way that I think that I am, you have a different opinion. No matter what your opinion is, it is different no matter what. You know, there are people who I'm sure think I'm an asshole. I'm sure that people think that, I'm a bad person. I don't know why, but there has to be that sort of odds. That there are other perceptions of who you are as a person
to other people,
to anyone, whether it be a good person. I mean, whether it be a good thing or a bad thing, you don't really have a choice. You can try to perceive yourself as good as possible. Sometimes I like to think, like, am I a good person? I like to think so.
I certainly try.
Yeah, I certainly try. Like, the other day, my girlfriend and I were like, we're not doing anything today. We're gonna cuddle. That's it. Like, we're not gonna go out to the movies. We're not gonna go to a bar. We're not gonna music. Nothing. It's gonna be easy day. No, we're good people. So we're leaving her neighborhood, and like this guy slams on his brakes. And sometimes I can get pissed as a driver when people make stupid things, and he slams on his brakes, and I'm pissed. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, I'm gonna hit you. Like my car is right here, and like this like little, what was it? It wasn't a pit. It was something like that. It was in the direction of what people would be like, oh, that's a breeder for an aggressive dog. But she was super loving. It wasn't a pit. Something else.
Doberman? Pit? Rottweiler?
No.
What did it look like?
I'll look it up as I talk. And so and so we saw the dog, and our first instinct is like, let's go find it like a home. And so we pull over, I get a bottle of water, we start feeding the dog. It's running around everywhere, it's having a good time. It's going up to other people. By the way, this is like during like 9 o'clock, so it's dark. People are kind of walking around, and it's like going up to them, and I'm like, oh no, she's fine, like she's safe. But I know that kind of breed people can be very weary about. And we spent like 30 minutes, like 45 minutes just sitting there with the dog, giving it water, trying to feed it like a Nutri-Grain bar, whatever, and trying to find the owner. And we ended up finding this random person, family really, walking by. That apparently they don't know the owners, but they know of the owner because he wants to breed his dog with their dogs. Like, oh, he lives somewhere down there. We went to several houses. Then we found another neighbor who like apparently is the neighbor of the owner, and they weren't there. So then we went back to the other person and dropped off that dog, but not before the dog like threw up everywhere because I gave him too much water, and she was just running around all the time. But yeah, I mean, we do random stuff like that. There was one time, 4 o'clock in the morning, we're leaving, and we see this like little like terrier thing like outside by Northwest Military, and don't worry about it. Nighttime, by some gas station, and it was just sniffing the ground looking for food, and I sat out there with them trying to find like the owner at 4 o'clock in the morning. I posted it on like a neighborhood app. I almost took it home with me so I can give it a bath and find it like a home. But that dog was so like, it didn't care about people.
Yeah,
it wanted food. That's all I was looking for. Sniffing around, looking for food. Didn't no matter where it went. Tried to give it affection. Didn't care. Now, it wasn't mean by any means.
It was just like, I want food.
Yeah. And we do stuff like that all the time. So I like to think that we're good people.
You have a big heart for dogs. You have a big heart for dogs.
Yeah.
Maybe not people.
Yeah. Dude, I have a fat ass bulldog. He's a rescue dog. I'll show you a picture of him. Mr. Wilson. He has an Instagram. Go follow him.
Awesome.
What is it? Man, I'm sure he knows he has the best life now. When we got him, his nose is crazy cracked. He had a couple slices on his neck. His elbows are all bare. He's bleeding. Like, they left him outside all day long, and it's sad because Wilson is the most loving bulldog in the world. Here he is as Clark Kent.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I think he's about 8 or so. The other day, like, apparently his jaw was dislocated from yawning.
Really?
Yeah, so now we can't, like, play tug of war with him. And we almost had to fucking put him down because he wasn't doing okay. We took him to a groomer. After the groomer, he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy at all. He's about 80 pounds, and he's a huge fat bulldog, but he will fly and projectile himself into the air right at you to go love you. But he wasn't doing that. We didn't know what was wrong. So my mom ended up taking him in to the vet. And they're like, okay, well, he's got a block. And so either we can give him like an emma kit and see if we can get it out, or we'll have to do surgery. And if the surgery happens, that'll be like $2,000-$3,000. Something we can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it ended up working out. $800 later with the emma kit, ended up working out. He's the happiest he's ever been since then. Yeah. So Wilson plug.
Like, just a plug in for my dog, like when your dog's not feeling well, like I'll know the instant when my dog isn't feeling great, because every single time doesn't hesitate, no matter how he's feeling. Oh wow, man, he's huge.
Yeah, he's big.
But he'll always just come rushing towards you as you come through that door, jump on you, try to lick your face.
Yeah.
And I mean, I it's not a training issue or anything. I enjoy it. I love it. I love it when he does that. I can control him. Like, I can tell him to sit down, but sometimes it's just all like, just let him lick your face. Yeah. That's all he wants. Sometimes he'll headbutt you because he's just too wild and crazy. But so, he's literally has the best life just inside.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And yeah, I mean, look, we let him sleep on the couch. Pretty much he can go wherever he wants. He's kind of the king of the place, but he doesn't. I think he maybe has like a year or two maybe left on him. Bulldogs typically don't live past 10 years. Mm-hmm. Their lifespan is right around 8 to 10. We got him and they said he was about 8.
Ooh.
Yeah, but he has the energy and the love and everything of like a baby. Like he does. I don't believe he's 8. I just think they neglected him to the point where he looks like an old dog. But I think he's about 8 or so now. So I think maybe he has like a year or 2.
Just keep him happy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the point. Like when people are like, "Oh, your dog isn't healthy," I'm like, "Shut up! I don't care at this point. He's about to die. Like he can eat whatever the hell he wants. He can get fat. I don't care. He's gonna have a good life.
Yeah, he'll enjoy his life. I mean, I see him. He's happy. I mean, he's not complaining. He gets to sleep on a bed. He goes outside, runs around for a little bit.
His farts are the worst, though.
I think any dog farts.
Actually, no. Bulldog farts are notoriously the worst farts. Like, his farts just smell like burnt Cheerios. Yeah.
I don't even know what that smells like. I don't want to know.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So, yeah. Blue Fox, check it out. No, but we do have a really cool... That's weird. This is probably the most clearest part. I don't know. Whatever.
I think it's just how you
microphones
project yourself.
are interesting.
Yeah, but you throw on your filters. You mute some noises. You put the lower decibel limits. You put the higher decibel limits, and then when it's recorded, it just sounds like completely different.
Yeah, for sure.
But Blue Fox.
But yeah, we'll be putting up this really cool session with Laura Marie, and it's inside of this castle, man, and it's just awesome. I think if you look it up on Zillow,
it's on Zillow.
Yeah, well, everything's on Zillow.
Well,
do you know who Ty Lopez is?
No.
Do you don't know who any social media is?
I try to live out in the real world, man.
Good point. Good point.
I mean, when you look at my social media, it's all nature.
Ty Lopez is that commercial guy where you see him walk up and be like, let me tell you like 6 things to show you how to buy these 6 Lamborghinis and be a successful business person. Just buy my book and yada, yada, yada. And this is my big house. All you need is knowledge and books. And like, his place isn't really his place. It's this thing on Zillow that you can rent out and everything like that. Kind of like the like Little Tay thing.
It sounds like old infomercials again.
Ish. Because he's not wrong. It's just, I hate him because he's so damn good at what he's doing that I wish I could do that. He's an amazing marketer. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like the guy who got Bieber famous. It's like he's an amazing marketing guy. Yeah. But I hate Bieber to the core.
Well, it's like the end of The Wolf of Wall Street at the very end. He's all like, sell me this pen.
Exactly. Except for he didn't bang a bunch of hookers and do a stupid amount of Quaaludes and crash his Ferrari. He didn't do that.
But he still lived a very interesting, exciting life that most other people can't possibly ever phantom.
Yeah. So if you are a musician, you should check out Blue Fox because we have a bunch of like different types of segments and sections of music, country, rock, experimental, instrumental, rap, anything like that.
Not only that, I recently saw that you had like a music video of a skateboarder as well.
Yeah, so I loved skating when I was growing up. But I was always too scared to like do things because there's one time I did this hard flip, and essentially what happens is you flip the board this way and it goes in between your legs. So if you guys know where Scobie Elementary School is over on like the north side, I hard flipped that like gap and just like landed like that. And that's essentially like the last time I ever did anything remotely like that. Yeah, it was crazy, but I love skating. My friend Patrick, he's always been pretty great. And so I was like, hey man, got this new camera, got this bunch of like professional equipment. Let's make a quick video. So what I did is the entire thing is shot in slow motion. Shot in slow motion. What people don't know is that when you shoot in slow motion, it doesn't record audio. That doesn't happen.
Really?
It's not possible. And so, like when you watch slow-mo guys, they have a Foley artist, which is a guy with a microphone that, let's say you have an apple that explodes, right? They'll grab like a tomato or like an apple and like squish it to record the audio and then record like other things to put together to create the explosion. That's essentially what I had to do. So the entire slow-mo thing, even if it looks like it's in like regular motion, it's not. I just sped it up and to the proper frame rate. And so I ended up having to like grab sounds of boxes dropping, of metal scraping and wood scraping and things like that. So it sounds like it's actually coming from him, but it's not. And that's what I thought was super crazy cool about it is having to work and do that. And I've always loved that aspect of filmmaking. When you watch a movie, you're deceived everywhere.
Yes, exactly.
People are walking on like gravel that's not the actual audio. The people are actually back there trying to figure out what sounds best.
Yes.
Than actually walking on gravel. Because a lot of times people don't use a door shutting. They grab books and they slam it down to get the right slam sound or whatever it is.
Well, it's like one of my favorite scenes. It's from an old movie from one of my favorite actors, Steve McQueen in The Bullet.
Mm-hmm.
The Mustang Challenger chase scene. Like, I was just all like... And then my dad goes, "That's not the way that Mustang sounds supposed to sound." I'm like, "What?"
I'm not surprised.
And then he goes off and he's all like, "It's actually a Ford Falcon 351 something."
My dad's exactly like that. Air Force wise, when like a plane flies over, he's like, "Oh, that's a B-57, yada yada. You can tell because it sounds like this." And I'm like, "Shut up, Dad."
And I'm like, this was like a kid, and then like as a kid, I was like, "Yeah, okay, Dad." And then as I got older, I'm like, "All right, Dad, you're just saying that." And then when the internet started getting good, when about high school age, when I was about 16, 17, when Google started coming out like strong, and you're all like, you type it in, and then you type it into, and someone have like a video of it like before YouTube, and you go and click on like a link to a file, and you're
what is it? File start, file share, file something.
Yeah, something like that. And
back in the day,
you find the file and you start listening to it, and someone's all like, "This is the engine noise from the chase scene. This is the engine noise from this engine when revved up." You're all like, "Oh my god, it's like
it does sound different."
Yeah, and I'm like, my dad was totally right. I was like, wow. I was like, damn.
Listen to your dad.
And, and then like when you watch like background, like the behind the scenes parts of movies or shows, like the tools that they use to make prop noises, like they just find different things, different media to like produce, like you were saying,
100%.
to produce that best sound that imitates that action.
Yeah.
And it's all like, should we be doing that? Because it's not really the true sound.
It's not the true sound, but it engulfs the imagination of the audience member.
It captures their attention.
Like my favorite part in making that video is there's a part where he's grabbing he put wax on the box so that it slides better. And he slides his board this way. And I just took this like slashing sound from like a piece of thing. But if you had the actual thing, you probably wouldn't have even heard that. But you hear it go... Right? It sounds so cool and it sounds so engaging. I mean, granted, maybe we should keep things authentic, but let's be real.
You're trying to grab the audience, like you're trying to bring them, like this is how, like if you were there.
I literally just imagined like all the Marvel movies, like if they were genuinely realistic, the movies would really suck. Oh my god.
Well, that'd be any movie or any show, like I mean, I love it when...
not Boyhood. What was it? That kid who like started this movie. Well, the entire cast. It was an 8-year movie. And like...
Oh, I heard of that.
Or like Boyhood or something like that. Or I think it was actually like more like 11 years. But it like took like 11 years to make, and it's literally him growing up. And all the actors are growing up too. And they're going through different scenarios and situations that are kind of like a normal movie, but more geared towards like how they're growing up, and it's more realistic because he's actually growing up, throughout the movie rather than choosing different actors and things like that.
Like I find that fascinating. I think there's a couple.
Apparently, it actually didn't do that great.
Well, it's hard to follow someone's life because most of the time, most people's lives are boring and there's not a whole bunch of drama because we're drama animals. We live off of drama.
100%.
Now, whether you say you don't have drama in your life, I call bullshit because there's some form of drama somewhere.
I'm in the best relationship of my life, and there's still drama.
You can't be perfect.
No.
You can't have perfect, otherwise it'd be boring.
I'm perfect.
Yeah, you're boring then, sir. I'm sorry.
That mosquito is perfect.
That's a buddy that my buddy Cam drew. He drew he painted it a long time ago, and his wife... I honestly think his wife doesn't like it because it was just in their extra room, just sitting down on the floor, and I was all like,
my girlfriend really wouldn't care for this. I mean, she would agree that this was nicely done, but she probably wouldn't care for the blood splatters and the mosquito in general.
It's realistic. I mean, look at that hair, just sticking out. These are just little creatures, man.
I love Lucas The spider, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. She hates him. I think it's so creepy, and I'm just like, but you look like a little spider that sings.
Well, like my girlfriend, I'm like, why you get freaked out by spiders? Most of the spiders here, they're harmless. Like, you watch out for ones that are brown and hairy.
Bullshit. So
what?
Kevin, he was filming something, and he got bit right here, and 3 days later, it was just like a hole in his
that was probably
elbow.
a brown recluse then.
For sure. But I dropped my $2,000 camera.
Ooh.
Because my girlfriend, we were at McAllister Park. She's like, oh, I think there's a spider on your back. And I was like, ah! And I threw my camera down directly on the lens. Now, the glass is totally fine, but, like, I can't put filters on it anymore because the sort of, like, ring around it is all...
Scratch.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just like, don't regret it because I don't want spiders to be on me and biting me and such. Fucking, jumping spiders are almost the worst for me. Because it's like, they don't just move around a little bit. They fucking jump. I had a jumping spider battle in my office for like 30 straight minutes. Because, I mean, sure, they're there to be eating the stuff around you.
Yeah.
But I hate not knowing where they're at. You know what I mean?
But if you don't know where they're at, then they might not be there.
That's the worst part.
They might not be there.
But they might be there. And that's the scary part.
How about this? What's worse, that jumping spider? Or when you see a huge cockroach go running across and then you're about to step on it and then it just flies away. Like, you're all like, whoa, where did its wings come from?
What about actually stepping on it with your bare feet?
How about slamming one with your bare hand? I did that because my girlfriend was like, giant cockroach, and I just like, whap! I was like, oh, well.
No.
But if it fell behind the couch and I was like, I'm going to get it later on, I just didn't feel like moving the couch because it's wedged up against the wall. And the next morning she told me, like, it was still alive, it crawled out, and then died in the middle of in the room. I was like, that just tells you how sturdy cockroaches are. Like, they are a hard-ridden creature. That's...
Dude, I had an infestation in my car like a year or two ago, and like we found out because when we turned on the car, the AC turned on. And it was like bah, and it chunked a couple of them out of the AC, and they just like flew out, and I was like, holy fuck. And they were like these little baby ones or whatever. They were like they're harmless for the most part, but they would like crawl out of your AC like opening, and they would just like crawl out and crawl in. It was like, oh, it was so disgusting. It was so bad. I mean, you can bomb your car, but it could. Yeah. My dog is with me all the time. We'll go to Taco Cabana. Like, no matter where I go, restaurants know my dog.
My dog loves going on, like, I just shake my keys and he goes running to the door. Yeah. And immediately, if he doesn't have, like, if I don't put his leash on, he knows we're not going for a walk. We're going straight to the truck. I'll open the door. I'll let him run out because I know he's just going to run to the truck and just wait there by the door. Yeah. And there was times, like, I was taking him out so much that bank tellers were giving me dog treats. Chick-fil-A was giving me dog treats.
You should go to Starbucks. Do you go to Starbucks? They have puppuccinos.
Puppuccino? What is puppuccinos?
Yeah, they're made for dogs. Like, they literally have puppuccinos. I don't ever get it. I'm not a coffee person whatsoever.
I like making my coffee at home. I mean, Starbucks coffee is good when you're on the go.
Coffee makes me sick, man. Like, it hurts my stomach. The only time I ever drink...
You're 24.
The only time I ever drink coffee is in, like, a meeting when someone's like, oh, let's go to Starbucks to meet. You want a coffee? I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, then I'll get that pink fluffy shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Frappuccino.
Yeah. The strawberry, like,
nothing
blend.
But sugar.
Hell yes.
Sugar is my worst enemy, man. I stay away from that. Like,
I try to. Like, I don't eat candy. I mean, I may chomp down, like, a couple of, like, gummy bears, but if it's not fine chocolate, I probably won't eat it because I haven't had any cavities, but, like, my teeth just hurt.
Well, I went to the dentist recently, and no major cavities, but he's like, you got one baby cavity right there. And I was like, dude, it's been like 2 years since I've been to the dentist. I'm like, why are you giving me crap about a baby cavity?
I probably have that.
He was like, you need to floss more. I'm like, I floss every day. He's like, you floss before bed? I'm like, no. Like, you should floss before bed. I'm like, all right, fine. You get the last word. I'll floss before bed. But yeah, it's just like, it's just amazing how if you take care of things like not eating sugar, it'll just like you start feeling better.
Oh yeah.
And
no, I 100% believe it. Like, I feel fucking amazing when I'm eating healthy. I do. But the most part, it's eating out, Chick-fil-A, things kind of like that.
All right, just eat the chicken, lose the buns. Don't eat the fries.
I can't do it. So I'm going to order like $8 worth of shit and just be like...
You got your dog, right?
Nah, I can't do that. Can't do that. That Chick-fil-A sauce, man.
Oh, yeah. That Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't like it, but so many people do. And
I love it so much.
I'm just like, just eat the chicken by itself.
No.
That's me.
Fake news. I love that term now. Fake news. I do. I love it. I understand there's an issue about it wherever you stand, whether it be Trump, Hillary, or anything in between. I understand it, but I love saying it, especially to friends when it's not like crazy political.
Oh yeah, or even like something.
Like, I would never say it in a serious situation. Like, I genuinely probably would never say if there was something more academic or,
there's only one
whatever.
There's only one person I have ever seen actually use it in an official capacity. And,
wasn't it Trump?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only person I know that uses fake news. Like,
well, but also like other like
news medias
and articles and.
But they use fake news to bring news.
Yeah.
So it's like,
isn't that counterintuitive though?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a conspiracy just to bring more media back to the news groups because it gives them something to report on and it's edgy enough for them.
You know, I don't know who your demographic is, so maybe this is really bad for me to say, but like,
nah, it's okay.
What is it? I was watching this thing and it's so compelling. I mean, it's from a very liberal source, but it's so compelling. And it's like Trump tweets whatever Fox News says from Fox and Friends like minutes after they say it. And like he's so regiment about it to the point where there was this one guy where he turns over to the camera and says, "Don't do whatever, Trump." And literally within 10 minutes, Trump posts a tweet about going against this thing, whatever. And then later in the day, he goes back and says, "Oh, wait, no, I'm actually for it, yada, yada, yada." And then, like, Fox News was so confused. Everyone was so confused because he keeps going back and forth on what he wants. But it's because Fox and Friends, like, they legitimately control Trump and what he says. Trump doesn't fully hold his own ideology because if it doesn't support him or his group or it doesn't help him, he is not for it.
Yeah.
Granted, there's been a very, very small few things that he's done that's been like, okay, cool. Like the whole Ivanka Trump thing where she got the thing for mandatory leave and like pay for women who are pregnant and even husbands that are going through very similar things. And I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, that's
like
great.
I think it's crazy that some people will actually fire you because you're now pregnant and you can't work for like a month or however long after the whole situation
it's just
done.
that you want to be like, I understand like when you have a child born, like you just want to be around them and it's more also like you want to imprint on them just like zoologists do with their animals when they want to take care of them. Like they imprint when they're young and when you're not there during that initial I forget
that's
what
really
they call
important
it,
for like fathers
yeah.
though. That's really important for fathers. I mean, I don't have a kid, so I don't know.
Well, I just read about it and I hear it, and then also just hearing from all my other friends that are fathers, like just when you have your child in your chest and you're holding them, like that's a very strong bonding moment.
And I've heard a lot of fathers, even that Philip DeFranco guy, where it's like when your child is born, you don't have any feeling towards your child yet. Like you don't have that immediate bond that the woman would have for obvious reasons. I mean, she's the one giving birth Well,
and also carrying it for 9 months.
Exactly. But it's like they don't have that connection. So, I mean, I very much think it's required. I think it should be required for most circumstances and be available, maybe even for a small period of time, not as much as, the whole pregnancy period or anything like that, obviously. But I think that fathers should be given the opportunity, less work or anything like that, to be able to spend with their child, because some fathers feel fucking horrible that they don't have their immediate connection with their child. They're like, what's wrong with me? But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because you haven't been the one holding, you haven't been the one birthing, you haven't been the one anything. This is now your time to then develop that relationship with your son or daughter.
Yes, to make that important, first bond, that the strongest bond that's going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not for your child, because when we're all children, we don't remember what's going on. Like, I think the earliest memory I have is when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
And just being at the Blue Angels air show, being underneath
I remember that.
A cargo plane at Corpus Christi Naval Reserve Base, because that, for some reason, they were doing it there. And I was there, and I just remember my first memory of me crying because some jet just went over, really, really loud, intense noise. Like, when you're young, everything just sounds so... everything sounds so intense. Loud. And I just remember, like, at the time, I wasn't having fun because it was just, like, in my head. But then when you see blue jets go by, you're like, oh, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
And
it's like larger than life.
Yeah. And but that's my very first memory, and like, it's hard
you
to
had
think
a
back.
very good first memory. My first memory was breaking my leg going down a fireman pole. That's the first thing I remember.
How old were you when you did that?
It was pre-K.
Oh wow, so probably about 4 or 5.
Yeah. You have a very good first memory.
Well, I try. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that say they don't even remember like 5 years old. And then there's other people.
Those are dumb people.
Maybe. Yeah. But then there's people that say, I remember stuff from when I was 1 year old. It's like, what?
Bullshit.
You gotta be bullshitting me here.
Yeah.
Like, especially the ones that say, like, they remember being in the womb. I'm like, your brain's not even fully developed. I'm pretty sure you have your memory capacity is not working yet. Yeah. So... But man, this has been fun. All these tangents that have been going on.
Yeah, how long have we been talking?
Well, we came to this because it was your equipment with the spider issue.
Oh yeah.
So, and then we were talking about how that little lens.
Spiders.
You can't. Yeah, like you dropped your $2,000 camera, and we just went off from there. But is that camera still working?
Oh yeah, for sure. That camera is 100% alive. It is good to go. It is my current camera that I use for everything that I'm doing.
You can go to his Instagram and his Facebook profile at Blue Fox Productions.
Yeah, like try Blue Fox Productions or Blue Fox Sessions when when did
you change the name?
Started? Honestly, it was like a month ago.
Okay.
Like everything, it was originally Blue Fox Sessions.
Yes.
Right, and that was the goal. That was the plan. Like we were going to release like every other week was supposed to be a new session for different bands, yada, yada, yada. But it turned into me working for other people, for like clients and making money. And that's when it became more of a production. We do have Blue Fox Sessions, which is more of a segment of Blue Fox in general. Man, you don't even know. Like, I have this whole like 10-year game plan for Blue Fox, and it's like Blue Fox Live, Blue Fox Sessions, Blue Fox Talk, all these different things that I want to do that I'm progressively getting towards. But like Blue Fox Productions, I started realizing that I need to become more professional. Money is where it's at. Yeah. I cannot run what I'm doing without making money. And so if you can, try Blue Fox Sessions, try Blue Fox Productions, whatever you want to do with it.
It looks like great work that you do, man. I really believe that, and like I just see it, and then you're putting the effort into it. And also Miguel, like I see how their band like production is evolving, and like it's looking great. It's looking awesome.
Definitely, Miguel is one of my favorite out of my little team because he really goes like the extra distance.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
like I remember
to prove what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I had him on here on this podcast, he was explaining how
Kevin, you don't go far enough. You're fired.
how like he didn't know how to do a certain aspect about videography, and then he just goes on YouTube learning how to do it. I mean, it's essentially like, and I told him, like, when he was here on the podcast, I told him, like, that's essentially what I'm doing this podcast. Like, I go on there, I learn how to do certain audio adjustments that I can do with my equipment, because the manual doesn't tell you.
It sucks.
I've read that thing. Oh, it is technical data. I'm like, yes, that's great. If I ever need to fix this thing.
I need someone to talk to me like I'm dumb.
Yes.
Like, I need help.
Yes, like, I need someone to tell me, like, exactly, like, how to work this, not how to fix it.
Yeah.
Because that's what the technical manual is telling me, just how to fix it. And then the simple, like, not that tell me how to work it because I'm done. Like, I understand the basics. I need advanced level teaching now. Like, and you can't get that off of a manual. You can't.
No. And
then it's just a hassle trying to go to an audio store and ask those guys, where YouTube's just right there. If you just type in the right words in the right order, it'll give you the information.
Half of my schooling has been professors going, go to this YouTube channel and watch this. And I'm like, seriously, what is school for, rather than just a diploma to show people things?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I remember when I was younger, I retweeted this post about if I would like to thank Wikipedia for my college degree.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's funny, though, because at that time, all the college professors were saying, don't use Wikipedia, it's not a reliable source.
Dude,
I'm all like,
I have a few of my professors that are like, just go to Wikipedia, it has everything. And I'm just like,
because at the bottom, at the bottom of it, it has all the sources, where they got the information from, how they got it, and then you go to those sources, and it's actually legit articles, journals published by scientific, or for me, it was like Geology Society pages.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't forums that they would get these information from. Sometimes, since it is like it is a public-driven information website, so you can go in there and manipulate some things.
Did you know that it's? I mean, I don't say it's illegal, because it's not illegal, obviously, but like, Wikipedia is extremely against people making their own Wikipedia. And I'm saying famous people, like, editing their own. I remember Adam. Do you know who Adam Ruins Everything is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he made his own Wikipedia page, and he was doing an interview with them, and because you have to sit down with the actual Wikipedia people if you want to make changes that you want.
What?
And not, but anyone else who is not you can make the changes without any issues. I mean, he goes in to, like, tell them that, like, oh, I actually posted that. Like out of all the things, he posted, like, maybe, like, one or two things that were from him. Yeah. And they were like, hey, you really shouldn't be doing that, yada, yada, yada. Like.
Oh, that's crazy how, like, you can't.
Yeah.
But in another way, it's kind of good, because it's all like, well,
you can't Kim Jong-un?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that. Like, if something's out there that you don't want to know.
I have a unicorn in my backyard. Wikipedia says so, and I said it. Yeah.
That's another thing that I find, like, kind of, like, I want to see the good in it, but then it's all like, it's hard not
the good in Kim Jong-un.
Well, just the piece, like, he's willing to, like, denuclearize, and that walk that.
I believe it, but I'm also very skeptical about it.
Yes, like, it's like
there's something in there.
Good. This is too good to be true to be happening right now.
Yeah, there's something in that's some no bueno-ness.
But and when you look at it at a historical, like, forget all the opinions, forget all the skepticism. Like, when you look at it as a historical event, he is the first Korean leader in the last 3 generations to step over that borderline between North and South Korea. And you can't help but, like, it makes me happy to see that.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But it's like, please don't be too good to be true.
Yeah.
Like, that whole mess to begin with started with the interventions of other countries that shouldn't have been there, and that everybody's at fault for that.
USA is number one.
Yeah, USA is at fault. but not only USA, but countries,
No, for
Japan, Russia. It just sucks how like our political influence has that type of negative effect from time to time.
But then I don't really feel bad about over there, primarily because over there, they're high strict propaganda, like, you know, Americans are horrible, yada yada yada. But even to the point where like, how they stage, like for tourists to come through, they stage, you know, places where it's like they have found like fake fruit and whatever to make it look like that people are eating and things like that. Or that guy who fled North Korea was shot like 6 times and like was dragged.
That's the good I want to see. I want to see like that being changed. I don't want to see that happening anymore. I want to see like actual photos coming from Korea that like people are posting from Instagram. Like, look, this is real account. This is here. I'm seeing this. Like, look, like improvements are happening. Yeah. Whereas before we were just hearing this. Every once in a while, a photo will come out, and then when there's like people actually do escape, they're infested with all these worms and just.
Or the coma kid. Mm-hmm. The coma college kid.
Yeah, that's
the one. What did he do? He stole. I think he like stole a piece of propaganda while he was there abroad for school, and then they take him and torture him, and he comes back in a coma. Did he die? I don't think he died. He died.
He died.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It was a big thing.
Horrible.
Yeah.
But then those 3 guys that were just given back the other day, they're all good.
Yeah, they're sending us spies.
Yeah, which should be even worse.
Yeah,
like why you're torturing this college kid? Like at least torture the spies. Torture the spies. I'm just kidding. Don't torture the spies.
Maybe that college kid was being a Logan Paul.
Maybe he was. You can torture Logan Paul.
But that's awesome. That's just what we hope that the world will become, just a little bit nicer every day.
Yeah.
But you got to be aware of all the skepticism that goes on. Like, someone always has a hidden agenda. Like, whether
I have a hidden agenda.
I mean, everybody does.
I've come here to be famous. That's my agenda. I don't care about you.
Everyone wants to be famous. Everyone wants to be, maybe not the president of the United States, but they want to be the leader in their field. And you're all like, no, I just want to have fun.
I definitely do just want to see Kanye become president. Just because.
No. No. None of that. Let's.
Vice President Trump with President Kanye.
No, sir.
Be great.
We're already going on like a weird slope. I don't want this ride to get any weirder. I mean, what side of the picket fence you're on, or even if you're far away from the picket fence, like,
man,
it's strange times.
There's issues on both sides. Period.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome if there was an emergence of a third, fourth party, like a strong third, fourth party. Yeah. And it's just like when I spent my time down in Australia, when I was on holiday, the people, when they talk about their politics, they enjoy talking about their politics because it's like a comedy. Like, they're all like, yeah, this guy will come in there and say he'll do some things, and then he'll get 1 or 2 things done, then they go on his own agenda. Well, then since we're required to vote, we just vote him out. We vote someone else in. Yeah. And I was like,
Did you hear about South Africa?
No, I haven't been to South Africa.
No. Have you heard what's going on there?
No, what's going on?
So I might be wrong on this entire thing, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So they finally got like a new president. But this new president is like friends with this organization that's like known for like savagery. You know what I mean? Like kind of like, I don't say it's like the Black Panther group, but in that direction for that area. And so the majority of big land owners are white. Yeah. Yeah. And so the president is passing along a law that allows African American descendants who live there take the white land without paying for it. or anything like that. Yeah, they're passing through this like law. Well, that the other leader that I was talking about, not the person who's kind of like the Black Panther thing, is I really wish I knew the name of that group, but they're trying to push that like killing of like white people.
Oh no!
Yeah, and
I mean
they're friends, and that's where the issue comes into play. Where like, oh shit, like something's going on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and sure, I get it. White people took your land. I get it. But the issue that they're having right now is since white people's land are being taken, no one is actually working the crops anymore. Because now they own the land, and now the crops are all dying because they don't want to work it anymore.
Yeah, this sounds
so their economy
weird.
is starting to fail, and that it's kind of obviously it's kind of already failed, but it's failing even more, and even more people are going hungry because no one's working those plants anymore.
So not only are they having a water crisis, but now they're going to be having an agriculture crisis as well. Wow, that's
the other
crazy.
shoe hasn't dropped yet of people really being affected by the issue. That's what everyone's kind of saying about it. That's what they're saying about it too, about the issue with this. Like we get it. Like we want to make sure, we give proper representation and property to the people who live here as well. But it may have some issues and consequences in the grand scheme of things. That's one of the big issues with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's when it comes to any big issue that affects like a large number of people. Like you got to think of all the repercussions that will come of one single action.
Yeah.
And it's hard to determine that sometimes. You never know what's going to come of one decision you make today versus the one that you make tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they all like the saying, hindsight's better than 2020. Mm-hmm. And it's more true than anything. It's all like, well, yeah, it would have been great if I did it this way back then.
Yeah.
Now that I know how things turned out. I mean, you never know how the future's going to turn. You just got to hope for the best.
If you can, look up that story.
I will. South Africa?
I might even be wrong that it's South Africa. I hate when I drop, like, stories or, like, knowledge.
Well, there's your saying that you like to use so much. There's your fake news for the day.
Yeah, essentially. I could be wrong about everything that I just said, but I'm pretty damn sure that I'm right. Go fact check me later. Right. When I'm gone.
Little Blue Fox sessions, man. Or no, not sessions, productions.
Either one. Okay, so the reason why I said either one is I think on Facebook or Instagram. I can't change how it's being searched or whatever it is.
I think it's Instagram.
I changed the name of it. You can search through Blue Fox Productions.
Yeah.
But on the handle, it still says Blue Fox Sessions type of thing.
Maybe you can email Instagram and get it changed.
Nah, they don't care about me.
Nah, have you tried?
No.
How do you know until you try? I mean, they got like teams of people just looking at a computer, waiting for an email. Maybe not waiting for your exact email, but responding to emails.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
So what's the next project for you? What do you plan? Next step.
So I do a lot of work as the leader of So Far Sounds San Antonio. Mm-hmm. And So Far Sounds, we put together secret shows all around San Antonio.
Yes, that's what I want to ask you about. Like, what's up with these secret shows that, like, I see you post? Like,
So Far Sounds, Songs from a Room, is a global thing. It started in London about 5-6 years ago. Like probably 7 years ago now. But and it's all over the world. It's in India. It's here. It's in London. It's really just everywhere. Some of the biggest locations are like Manchester, Austin, Dallas, New York, LA, Nashville. Those
really hip growing places in the States, yeah.
Yeah, and typically like LA and New York are the ones where you like might see like Ed Sheeran or like Hozier. But yeah, we work with artists anywhere from like local artists all the way to big name artists. But essentially, these are secret shows in secret locations that are taken in more in an intimate type vibe. and you apply for the show. And once we send all the invites, then you select yes. Currently, right now, it's like $5 for like a ticket for like 2, or you can pay $15, which guarantees you a spot. Because when you apply, then you get a notification later that you can confirm your spot. And I've had several friends text me, "Hey man, like I couldn't get in. It says it's sold out. Like what do I do?" And I'm just like, ugh. And so I'll go in and I'll open up the capacity, right, from like 55 to like 60, right. I'm like, okay, confirm, go do it. He's like, oh, do it in a bit. I was like, and 5 minutes later, oh man, it's still sold out. And like 5 other people like confirmed their spots, and I'm just like, man, just here's the address, man.
Just show up. I'll
just show up. Yeah, just help me run it.
Yeah.
Just help me run it, because we do have volunteers. Everything is more or less on a volunteer basis. I do it because I love it. I do it because I love meeting musicians. Man, I wake up like 5 emails a day from artists all over the world. Be like, hey, I'm touring through San Antonio. I would love to play a So Far show in like a couple months. And I'm like, okay, cool, awesome. You know, and sometimes they're not great, but for the most part, like 90% of the time, I'm just like, oh, this person's super badass. And I would have never heard of this band or anything like that had I not do anything like this. I'd just be listening to all the local music that is shitty. I'm just kidding. Support your local scene. Local music's amazing.
Yeah, there's some good music here in San Antonio.
For sure.
You just got to go find it.
You just have to find it.
That's what we're here doing.
Go on Blue Fox Sessions.
Exactly.
Actually, that's kind of what the purpose was supposed to be. Because people, they won't spend $5 to go to a local show who's going to play some live real music, but they'll pay like a $100 to go see Kesha. By the way, she's doing really great now. I'm talking about post what is it, auto-tune shit. But still, the point's there is that you'll see this production. Really, it's not even seeing music. It's seeing a production. Is what you're paying for the $100.
The way I like to see it is that I'm paying to see it in the raw fashion, like seeing them in their true form, like. The minute, like, I always think of it when they're playing at a local band, a local shop, like, they just made the song, like, either a couple months ago. I'm hearing it for the first time.
Like, I think it's really cool. You can look up Tool on, like, YouTube and find their video from, like, 1996 or something like that. And like, they're playing in some, like bar, and they're playing one of their hit songs that like no one's ever heard of there or something. I don't know when they were made or whatever, when the video is, but it's a really cool thing to see when you see a local artist do something and then like 10 years later or whatever it is, they're the new biggest thing. And you're like, oh, I saw them in that bar and I was drunk, you know, whatever it was. But so the idea with Blue Fox was, you know, you don't know who's playing. It says Black Market's playing. I don't know who they are. I don't want to spend $5 to go see who they are. Whatever. Oh, they don't have any music. But by the way, they do. You should go check them out. They have an amazing music video that I think they took second place in the Santico's Alamo thing for this music video event. Really cool. They use some really cool CGI, and like the van falls off the side of the highway and they're all in slow motion. The
that's awesome.
fly. Oh yeah, it's really well done. But point is, like, you're like, oh yeah, I can't find their music, right? You go on Blue Fox and you're like, oh, here they are playing live in a studio. You can get their vibe, you can get their kind of music that they're playing. That's the idea. It's supposed to connect the artist with the audience member. That's the whole idea of the whole Blue Fox thing. With So Far, it's a very different, interesting take because people come to it. No one knows who's playing before they actually see them play. And I think that's crazy. Yeah. We sell out every show. We get people coming back every time that are willing to pay for this. They don't know where the location is. They get the address like the day before, but they don't know who's playing until they actually see them play. And it's crazy. You're in like this very, very unique, intimate setting, in like a living room, coffee shop, skateboard shop, you know, things kind of like that. And it's just a very unique experience.
Well, how about this? This is one question. How do you get to that? Like, how do you get your confirmation? Like, what is the process? Like, where do I have to go? So the way that it works
is you go to sofarsounds.com/San-Antonio. It's, like I said, it's all over the world in over 60 countries, over 460 different cities. So if you're traveling, just check and see if there's one. There might be a show that day. There might be a show when you're traveling through. And so when you get to it, you select what show you like to attend. It'll say if it's open, if you can apply to it, if it's whatever.
Gives like the date that it's...
Yeah, okay. The date, the relative time, the relative area, like Castle Hills or Northside or downtown. It doesn't tell you exactly where it's at. And then you apply to it, and that's it. And then the week before the show, I kind of like to do 2 weeks now to give people time. But like a week or two prior to the show, I'll send out a mass email list of all the people on here
who got the confirmation.
Yeah, and there are people who, because you can actually give a message, and it's really cool because they'll be like, "Oh, I love So Far Sounds. I'm taking my girlfriend to this. Yada yada yada. This is amazing." Or, "Oh, it's my birthday. Like, I can't wait to go. I hope I get in," because some people don't get in. And that's the point of the whole reserve tickets. You pay a little bit more, but you're going to get in. Period. Yeah. So then you apply to it, and I can see those messages and such. One big thing is, though, I can see when you don't go. Like, we like when we don't like when people give us money and don't go. Because we want to facilitate the artist. And that's one of the biggest things, is that the artist doesn't promote.
Yeah.
The artist doesn't promote at all. Like, when you're playing a bar, they're promoting their ass off. They spend money on flyers. Like, they're practicing, and they're getting, like, close to nothing, if anything. Our payouts are lower because this is a brand new city. But something that we'd like to do, and you can go to our So Far Sounds YouTube. We have about 460,000 subscribers. And we have hundreds of thousands of videos.
Awesome.
And we as a sort of payout, we do a video performance of their set or one of the songs, and we post it up there and yada yada yada. But to get back to what I was saying before, God damn it, tangents.
About the secret show, how the process works.
Yeah. And so when you apply for the ticket, we can see when you don't go. We want people to be there. We care about bodies being there. We care about bodies being there more than we care about the actual money itself. It's $5 for 2 tickets. You really care that we, like, oh man, we need our $250. But we want to get people in there so that the artist has people to play to, so that they can sell their music when they're there. The way that we set up everything, people walk through their CDs and people will sell all their stuff. I remember Josh Glenn did one of our shows. And, like, he sold, like, I think he sold a good portion of all of his stuff. And he made more money than he would make at a random bar or whatever.
Yeah, that's
And so
that's awesome.
It's a lot more artist-oriented. So with that being said, we care if you go or not, even if you paid for your ticket. Some people pay 20, some people pay 10, 15, whatever it is. You can pay whatever you want. It's a pay whatever you want basis. What do you think we are valued? And so when people don't show, it notifies us. And it tells us a no-show. So let's say there's someone on who's like applied 9 times, right? And I've invited them 9 times, but they have 9 no-shows. I probably won't invite them again. I probably won't press that invite until later where we're like, oh, we didn't sell out this time. Let's try to get the stragglers because, you know, let's see if maybe they'll come this time.
You're a lot nicer than I am. 9 times. I've done it 3. I'm all like...
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. San Antonio, as a city for so far, we can be pretty lenient with our audience members. We care about our audience and we care about their experience. Some cities are damn strict. Like, 2 no-shows, you're done. We're not messing with you. We even actually have like a policy where like we can only transfer your ticket over because sometimes you can't make it.
Yeah,
I get it. You paid for your ticket, something happened, whatever, and they're like, hey, can I push it on? Whatever. When they're dealing with the more corporate so far, they are pretty strict and they're like, oh, we can only transfer it to one show and only to the next show. Me, I'm just like, I got your email address. I'll let you know whatever show is coming up next. We'll work with you.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you're getting what you paid for, and we're making sure that you have a good experience.
That's awesome. So far?
Oh, and we have Froyo. We do bring in like 8 tubs of froyo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's BYOB. Everyone's chilling out, hanging out.
And that's where you bring in your craftsmanship of frozen yogurt.
Yes, it is.
Show your legendary work off.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about what you make with froyo. Like, what are some of the combinations you come up with?
So probably my favorite is a what is it? The pineapple dole sorbet. So
sorbet,
no milk.
Oh, okay.
Type of thing, and it's this combination of like pineapple that is from Disney, and it's only from Disney, and you can only buy it at like select stores, and you can only buy it in Disneyland. So that was always something cool when I was working at Minchie's.
Yeah.
That we would make ourselves and stuff like that. It was always the favorite thing.
It's a good promotion.
Actually, this lady, right? It's so exclusive that this lady, before she was getting ready to leave, she's like, "Hey, I want to see if I can buy some pre-packs. Like basically, just these packs that you can buy that we've already made." And we're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we probably won't have any for the next week." And she just starts she breaks down. She's crying because she's leaving on a flight the next day to go somewhere, and she really needed her pineapple froyo.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt really weird.
And you offer this at the secret shows too, or some of them?
So at every show, we try to have some sort of snack or froyo. More than likely, it will be froyo. Froyo has been our best so far. So we try to bring a variety. We don't really guarantee it's going to be this and that. But it'll be like blue raspberry tart, chocolate fudge, sorbet this, or whatever. But it's like 8 different things, and we have cups for people just to start grabbing and scooping and going at and whatnot. We try to do every show.
That's awesome.
It. Yeah, we did one show without it, and people complained. So we were like, I guess we got to keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, once you start doing something that people like, you got to keep doing it. We just weren't sure that people liked it, because every time we would leave with a couple of full containers. Mm-hmm. I think this is just because it was during winter. And because we like to make sure that the audience member is paying attention to the artist and not on their phone texting or getting drunk, because this is no place to go get drunk. If you're gonna get drunk here, you probably shouldn't come. It's about being chill, and you can have beers. We're BYOB. That's totally cool. But we're all sitting honestly, a lot of the sofars, you sit on the ground and you sit in a circle, and it's just super intimate type of thing. I remember, I think it was Hoyser. He was it was so cool because I'm used to playing stadiums. No, it was Imagine Dragons. And they were we're used to playing stadiums. Wait, you got to talk to Imagine Dragons?
No, I didn't talk to him, but it was another so far city. I think it was New York. And they were, Imagine Dragons was playing a set. And they were it's so weird because we're used to playing stadiums, but now we're so nervous. Because we can see your face, we're right here, and if we mess up, you know what I mean. That's what I love about it, the intimacy.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like going to bars over large stadiums. It's nice to go there and see that.
Oh, for sure. Play. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going to go see some of that good old Queen Bee.
Something different about just going to a local show.
Yeah. It just feels different. Yeah. It really does.
Like you said, it's more intimate.
And people are just hanging out, talking to each other. People are making friends, people you would never know. And also, I was trying to get my professor to go. He's an older guy. And he was like, I don't want to go because everyone's going to be super young. And I'm just like, no, actually, I don't know where they went. It's kind of sad. I miss them. But we had this old couple. And they'd bring wine, and they would sit by the fireplace.
That's awesome.
We would go, but they loved the shows, and they would come. And the majority of the people that go aren't people who are actually in the music scene. So it's pretty great that there's an untapped source of music lovers that I don't see at my typical shows ever. And you don't typically see them around here in general. But then they're coming out and, they're old, they're young, they're not typically people that would go out to a bar. They're people that would go to a bar. They're all friends, and they're all having a good time. We're all laughing and joking together, and it's just a good time.
Yeah, and I like that, how you're trying, that So Sound is trying to bring back that intimacy between the listener and the singer, the artist again. I feel those large crowds, yes, that's great. That's an experience. But you don't have that intimacy between yourself and the band.
Yeah.
And
now this weekend though, I don't know when this is coming out.
Oh, it's coming out. It's already out. It's live.
Shit, this is live?
This is live.
You're not going to edit this? You're not going to bleep me?
No.
Dang. Is anyone even listening, watching?
We got 3 people.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I had no idea this was live.
I thought I told you.
No. I thought I was going to be recording on YouTube later. But anyways, if you're listening, hey, 3 people. What is it? We do have a show this weekend, but if you're looking for a So Far experience, don't go. So this is going to be at the Paper Tiger. This is not a normal So Far show. Mm-hmm. This is a normal show, but it's a free show at the Paper Tiger. It starts around 9. It's going to be Terra Firma, the Kraken Quartet, Culture Wars, and Rumors. Rumors is my band. We're kind of like an alternative indie rock. You can check us out. I think we're good, but
well, what's y'all's Instagram or Facebook or?
It's like Rumors Crew, RMRS.
Rumors Crew.
Rumors RMRS, and like what is it? This show benefits the Alzheimer's Association, so it is a free show. But to be entered to win the free guitar, you donate whatever you want. And we do give a suggestion donation of like $5. And then at the end of the night, we're going to go and do like a raffle to win a guitar. It's sponsored by So Far, and it's sponsored by Sam Ash. They're going to be providing the guitar. But any donations, all donations, even some of the artists that are going to be selling their stuff, it's going to go straight to the Alzheimer's Association. So that's a really cool event that we're trying to promote for next weekend, Saturday. But typically, So Far shows happen once a month. And they're typically towards the end of the month. That's where we like to do it. So I have
like
time
right
to get it ready.
Right before that first Friday of the month?
Sort of. It doesn't, honestly, it doesn't matter. No other event around us matters.
Really?
And it's really weird that it doesn't matter because I hardly promote. I don't really promote it. I only promote our shows if we're like, oh, we still need some people to like come in and stuff like that. Because it typically sells out on its own. Typically because of our newsletter. What is it? So it's towards the end of the month, typically for me, because it's a lot of work to do this. My girlfriend and I, we do this together, but on top of running Blue Fox and other clientele and school, like I can only do like 1 show a month. New York does like 19 shows a month. Dallas does like 12. Austin does 6.
But how many people are actually volunteering and working out, putting in like that work in those cities? Like I'm pretty sure they have a larger workforce.
A lot. Yeah, actually, So Far flew me out to Cali, and we stayed in the mountains in Big Bear.
Ooh,
man,
beautiful.
Most beautiful thing ever. You know what's funny, though? I had no idea the Hurricane Harvey was happening.
Yeah.
Because we had no cell service. I wasn't able to talk to anyone, but it was the most beautiful skies, the most beautiful, like, stars ever. Like, I'm so pissed that I don't, like... I didn't have my camera, my nice one, at the time. I had like my little starter camera. So I'm definitely going to do that again. But point is, I was telling the other cities, like everything that I do, I edit all the videos. I shoot the videos. I book the bands. I location scout. I run the shows. Typically, recently, I haven't been doing the MC. My girlfriend just does it. She doesn't like to do it. She's a bit... I don't want to say she's antisocial, but she's more in the introvert section of things. She can talk to people, but not for too long. It gets exhausting. But like we run it together, and so it's typically at the end of the month. You can sign up and do all that good stuff. But
what were you saying? Like when you were telling these other people from the cities, like what were you saying? Like,
oh yeah,
like that.
My bad. I got really tired in that moment, and I was like, I died for a second.
Yeah, because I was all like, wow, you do all this. I'm pretty sure like those other teams from those other cities were going to say we have like 6 people that do everything that you're doing.
Exactly, and they were just like, you really need a team. Like we don't understand how you're even doing this all by yourself and all this kind of stuff. And so we try to get a team, but it's so difficult because we work on a volunteer basis. We do. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because it's hard to find someone who cares enough to be like, yeah, I'll do some free work. And I get it. Like, I'm self-aware with that I am doing work for free. But then there are other perks, like they flew me out to California, paid for my food, paid for my flight, I got a free place to stay, stuff like that. That makes me go, oh, I love this. I love meeting the new artists, and I love making a name for myself and having a career that I can throw on my resume and everything like that. And so I think it's crazy that like Miami has like 10, like he has an entire like team of like people that like he runs.
Wow.
And I'm like, we had a couple people at some point, and it didn't work out because it wasn't their priority. And I get it. Like, I'm not going to hold it against you. Like, I get it. You either need to make money somewhere else. You have a band that you care about, things like that. Totally get it. I just think it's crazy that some cities can do that. Now, some cities are actually paid though.
Yeah.
Like Dallas, I think Dallas is paid. I know New York and LA is, because they put on like 20 shows a month, easy.
That's a lot of work.
And a lot, like 100 people at their shows, easy minimum. Us, we get, I think a good show for us is about 50, 60 people. It's pretty packed.
That's a good size, especially
and it's really hard.
Setting. Yeah.
It's really hard to find a location. Sometimes, like if you look at our thing, like we actually haven't found a location yet because it's so difficult to find a big location. I hate to be this guy, but it was really funny. We put a show out in Helotes, like deep Helotes. I didn't realize it was actually that deep, so I feel bad. But there was this guy who complained to us, right? And I was like, I was a little peeved by it because his issue was that it was too far away from him. And I was like, oh man. And he was like, I ride my bike everywhere.
Oh.
I was like, but you live in San Antonio, man. Like, no matter where the show would have been.
It's far. Like, that's what's different about San Antonio is that we're not like stacked up on one another. The city is built outwards, and not inwards.
In my head, I'm like, it's a $5 ticket.
Yeah.
Why ain't you just get an Uber, man? Just get an Uber. Like, it would have worked, but like, I don't know. The biggest part about that is because he had another issue with our place in Washington, where the show said it was one place, and then when he applied for the ticket, later the address came out and it was like an entirely different city.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so he was really upset by that, and our show was his second show. And so to him, 2 out of 2 times were bullshit, locations. I can tell you right now, man, this house was amazing. It's actually where we went to last night to go to this party. And they gave us fajitas and everything like that. It's like the best view of Helotes ever. Like, it was an amazing show.
Wait, is it on a hilltop?
I mean, it's on a hilltop-ish.
Okay, I know where you're talking about.
Like, I had no service whatsoever. It was just a really nice place. But yeah, I just dumbfounded just because it's just like, man, like no matter where the location was, like you weren't going to be able to make it regardless. But I understand why you're upset and why you're upset to the degree because you already dealt with this somewhere else. But it wasn't nearly as bad as the other place. I mean, Helotes, but apparently he lived off of 1604 and Bandera, which is like right before Helotes.
That's not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if he says he's no, not trying to trash on him, but if he's a very excessive bike rider, then that bike ride should be.
That should have been a fun bike ride too.
Yeah, like it should have been like a delightful ride for him. Oh yeah,
he should be like challenge accepted.
I know.
I'm going.
I mean, how far down like 16, which takes you to Helotes, which is
I'd say it's like a 10-minute drive.
Okay, so it'd probably be like a 20-minute bike ride.
Yeah, but like a lot of it is like it's like uphill, downhill. So sometimes you get a nice brisk break of like just some downhill like riding.
Well, if you go driving out that way on the weekend, like on a day like today, I'm sure you're going to see a number of bike riders because I remember sometimes taking those roads out there and just be bike riders everywhere. And I'm like, I didn't know it was that big of a thing here.
Yeah, our lead singer, he used to do a lot of bike riding downtown. Just like 20 to 50 people all biking together downtown on the streets. Actually, it's funny because before I joined So Far Sounds, apparently someone else was going to be the head lead of So Far Sounds San Antonio before I was, if I didn't take it, but he got into a motorcycle accident.
Ooh.
A week later, I found out my lead singer got into a motorcycle accident, and it was him who was gonna run So Far Sounds San Antonio if I hadn't jumped onto it before him. Yeah, small world.
So, lesson of that story is, don't drive a motorcycle in San Antonio. You'll get hit, run over, or something.
But also, if you have an issue with the location, if you have an issue with So Far Sounds in general, like, feel free to email me, man. I email back within seconds. Like, I am very punctual when it comes to that. Sometimes I'm late to things. I was late here. But
that's all good.
But like with email and texting, man, I get back to you real quick. And sometimes that's bad because people know that. So if I don't reply quick enough, they're just like, oh, you don't want to talk to me.
See, I have the habit of, like, I'll see the message, like, on the little notification bar. I'm all like, oh, okay, I'll respond back to that. And then I'll get busy. And then I'm like, crap, 3 hours later. I'm like, I better respond now before I totally forget.
Yeah.
And that's just my only issue because...
And so we had this other person, though, where one of these last shows, we had it at Nick Long's house from Lonely Horse. And he was down from the VFW, like, less than 100 feet. And we had a So Far sign right outside to show where it was going to be because it was a little difficult to know where it's going to go. Well, we had this person send in a complaint like 10 days later saying, oh, we couldn't find the place. We were at the VFW. In my head, I'm just like, just email me. Like, there were a couple of people that like emailed me being like, hey, I couldn't find it. And I was like, oh, I'll be right outside. I'll walk down the street. I'll come get you type of thing. And that's what I do. I'm just like, if you had driven up like 100 feet, you would have seen it. But not only that, if you had just said, "Hey, I can't find the address. What's up?" I'll get right back to you and be like, "Hey, I'll be right outside. I'll come help you out." Like,
okay, so email is like text message to you.
Yeah,
you respond
it really is.
fast to it.
It doesn't go to an automated service. It doesn't go to some corporate head. It goes straight to me, and I'm always available.
And you want people to get to that show because you want to have those bodies in there to experience that intimacy.
And if it's not an urgent thing, like you want your ticket to be placed on like another show, I'll tell you yes. But we'll talk about it later because I'm extremely busy right now. And I'll get back to you in like a day or two and be like, hey, so this is what's going on. I'll just email you with whatever show's coming up. And you just tell me which one you want to go to. And we'll just put you on the guest list and whatever. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, email me. Like, it's all good. It's all good.
You do too much. You do too much there.
I know I do. And I'm about to adventure on a short film that we're going to start working on about like PTSD stuff. And then I want to start getting my show together.
When's the release for that one?
I don't know, like 4 years from now.
4 years? Come on, you can do it in 2.
Even started
you can do it in 2. Start finishing your projects. Get them done.
No.
Well, shoot, man. We're coming up on 3 hours.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, I know. It just flies by when you're having fun.
Have these 3 people been like consistently been here? Like,
it's been in and out, but
cool.
But they've been here for most of the time.
Okay.
I mean,
I applaud them.
But like, I got like it shows me.
I can't watch podcasts, man. I can't.
But you can listen to it.
I can listen to it if I'm working. Yeah. That I can do. But
like
I can't
I'm
watch
busy
it.
doing something.
Do you know H3H3?
H3H3. What is H3H3?
They're a really good podcast. Look them up. Write it down. H3H3 podcast.
H3H3.
Yeah. I think you'll really enjoy them.
What are they about?
They talk to a lot of like other celebrities, YouTubers, things like that, about controversial things. And
is that how you stay on top of all those social media people?
Oh yeah. Dude, I
can't stand to be on my phone. I'd rather be interacting with either my girlfriend that's next to me, or if I'm out with friends.
I agree, but I'm just too business heavy. I'm just like always on this piece of shit, and it's just like it rules my life. It really does. What I was gonna say, what you should probably think about doing. For people who can't stand that long length, what they do, and I find it really cool, is they take like a 10, 15-minute segment, and then they tease with the the title, Blue Fox owner bitches about penguins.
Yeah, I see that, and that's what I need to do. I need to like invest more time into that, and which it'll help me because I jumped into a little bit of video and audio engineering on here because on one of my earlier podcasts, it's like the stream was going in and out. It was just a bad network day for me, pretty much. But I had the audio, so I had it. It was very time tasking, linking the audio to the exact video moment where like the lips line up, the movement line up. That was my first time playing around with that. Again, using YouTube, learning how to use the software programs, which software programs. Like, it's just, I can go backwards. Like, you learn the software, like, you find out what software people are using.
Yeah.
You find out what software is best to use, what you're trying to do. You read a couple of reviews trying to understand which one is best for you to use to do what you want to finish, what the end product you want to bring out. And so that all that time, putting in all that time, and then actually when you get down and try to implement everything that you learn into the software program, you're all like, what do I do still? So most of the time it's just experimenting. And the good thing for Save, like I before, like I reposted it and put it on YouTube and on my podcast site. It's like I say 3 editions. Yeah. And each one, like I did each one differently until like I got the one I wanted, because it's monotonous. It's time consuming. It's just like art. Like you don't truly know it's done. Even when you put your art out there, it's really not done. Like there's something you could have done better.
Let me ask you, what's your longest podcast so far? Or thus far? I hate saying so far because so far sounds and everyone's like, so far. And I'm like, God damn it. Everyone uses that as a joke now. I say thus far.
Far. Thus far. It's going to be this one.
Yes.
So you got the high trophy on that one. Thus far. I mean, I remember back when I was listening.
I don't know if you want to make a 4-hour podcast. Well, I don't know if that's what you want to do.
No, that's why I'm like ending it at 3 hours, like wrap it up, trying to get it wrapped up here on 3 hours, just because most other podcasts that do more than 3 hours, you kind of just lose attention, audience attention after that. Like,
and at some point, you can't even blame them. You're like, movies are 2.5 hours, and people bitch about that, and they're amazing movies. It's like you can't really complain.
Like you're seeing a multi-million-dollar production, and you're like, it's too long.
Like I don't blame someone leaving after a couple hours listening to us.
Yeah. But anyways, let's wrap it up here. Sure. So Blue Fox Productions, Sessions. Where can people get a hold of you? How can they get a hold of you?
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We don't have a lot of subscribers, but typically our YouTube is where all of our sessions are. If you want to go and check them out,
and that's called Blue Fox Sessions on YouTube.
Blue Fox Sessions on YouTube. And then Instagram, Facebook, you can hit me up, follow me on my personal. I post a lot of the same stuff, trying to market it all. But yeah. And then So Far Sounds as well. And if you're looking for someone to make you a music video, pay me some money, I'll do whatever you want.
Or maybe any other type of video. Maybe he'll experiment out and venture doing a different project.
I do doctor interviews, by the way. Wow. I do mini documentaries. I shot the fashion show shoot. Mm-hmm. I do music videos, man. I do it all. I do it all. Just hit me up, pay me money, I'll do it.
Thanks, Trevor. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for y'all joining on.
Thank you, guys.
Remember, Primal Texan Experiment. Subscribe. Check out the other old podcasts.
Or unsubscribe.
Share if y'all really like. Thanks again. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. The more people I bring on, the more people I have following me or subscribing, the more people, it is easier bringing people on. So far,
sounds. So far, sounds.
So far, sounds. So far, I'm able to bring more people on as the word goes on. It's just easier and easier. So I have pretty much a podcast scheduled every week till June 10th, and
Nice.
I expand on expanding that.
Who's next week?
Next week we have Nothing Lost.
Nothing Lost.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I heard of them.
They're a band.
Yeah.
I had them on.
I just recently heard of them, I think.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they got. I'll show you their music on Spotify, but they're. I really love their music. Like when I go out and hear them, it's great, and especially because like one of them is my best friend from high school. Like it's great seeing him doing the thing that he loves most, which is rocking out to music that he created. So yeah, so check it out. You can get a hold of me on Instagram, BigCurly13, or the Primal Texan experiment at gmail.com, or leave a comment here on YouTube. Thanks again. Thanks for joining. Enjoy this wonderful day we're having. Have fun, guys. And be nice to one another out there.
We out.
Bye. Oh, man. This was fun.